Ask Charles Barkley. Go ask Patrick Ewing. I'll just go on and on and on about all these great players who would die to have a championship. And guess what you did? When people told you were foolish and you were dumb and all these other words, that because you decided to stay in Milwaukee and you wanted to do your own thing and not NOT, follow the crowd, I admired you. I praised you. I thought to myself, thank God he's not cut from the same cloth that these other lemons are. Lemmings. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But instead, here you are when the tough gets going. Now you're ready to bail on Milwaukee. And Giannis, I have just one thing to say to you.
What's that?
I hope you find happiness wherever it is that you want to go. But every night, I'll say to myself before I go to sleep, I hope Giannis never wins another championship. That's where I am today.
Listen, I knew this was coming. You know, we talked about this during the offseason, Rob, and I knew this was coming because I knew Giannis, he talks about it. I want to win multiple. I want to win the multiple. When they say one championship, that's good. It's not good enough for me. Like, he wants to be considered one of the all-time greats who have multiple championships. And we'll talk a little bit later on my thoughts a little bit more about him. But right now, organizationally, to me, this is one of those times where it can have been a clean split last season. They could have found that. They obviously reports that the only team that was really in the works was the Knicks. There was conversations there, but they couldn't really find a way to make that happen because he's been there all of these years. You would agree. That's why you loved him. Blood, sweat, tears. Got them a championship to a team and an organization that generally doesn't. And at a certain point, if he felt it was time to leave, he is the superstar to me that could have had the clean cut. Could have said, you know what, I tried my best. We had a great run. I'm ready to just move on. It's best for both parties. And they could have done that amicably and moved on. But the string it along, I don't want to leave, or I do want to leave, putting pressure on the organization. They're not putting pressure on the organization. There are reports about the Knicks. Then now this new report that they're going to have a conversation. To me, just leave. If you're going to leave, or if you're going to stay. Stop tiptoeing around it because this is where it gets messy. This is where fans who might have said, you know what, I have no issue. He gave us his all for 12 years. He can move on. Now it gets weird. Mixed messages. I'm staying. I'm leaving. I'm going. I'm staying. I don't want to leave. And this is where it can get bad. Rip the Band-Aid off and go on about your business. If it's time to go, it's time to go, as you said, then it's time to go. It gets weird. It gets murky. It's gonna get ugly. He's gonna end up leaving where Milwaukee fans hate him. Where he's one of the rare superstars to me who could have parted ways and had been like, you know what?
And they should hate him. They should burn his jersey. They should do all that other craziness that fans do and say, get lost. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Because I really believed he was a different cat and he walked to his own beat. But ultimately, he caved. There's a lot of great players. You talk about winning multiple. Can I give you some names? I mentioned Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Elgin Baylor, Chris Paul, James Harden, Allen Iverson. I could give you Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, Steve Nash, Dominique Wilkins. It ain't a birthright that you win multiple championships.
I agree with that.
That is fan fodder. That's BS, okay? And you can't tell me that if Isaiah Thomas never won those 2 championships with the Pistons, I wouldn't think he was a great player. Because it doesn't mean you're not a great player. Obviously, you want to win. And what made him so special is that he was able to win in a place where it's hard to win. And I think that's what made his career. His one championship in Milwaukee is worth 2 in NBA America because it's that hard. He didn't go to some franchise that's always won. You could go look at the Celtics and Paul Pierce and all those. They put together, they made the trades, got a team together. How many did they win? They won one, and they had 3. They had 1. LeBron's been playing for 40 years. He's got 4 championships. It ain't that easy to win. I know it sounds like that, but today, Giannis disappointed me. And again, I wish him nothing but the best of luck, except for when it comes to winning a championship.
And I'll give the Bucks credit in that. They got rid of coaches. Remember, Adrian Griffin got rid of him. Was coaching pretty well, and they got rid of him. and they brought in Doc. It's by all accounts, it seemed like that's who Giannis wanted. They've moved guys around.
They went and got Dame Dollar and gave up picks for him.
They got Damian Lillard. He had Chris Middleton. They've had Bobby Portis. They've had Brook Lopez. They got Drew Holiday. They've put some guys around him. I'm not saying, to your point, that it's the '08 Boston Celtics or it's the Heatles or the Warriors, but dang it, they've had some good teams. So the team has tried their best while also being in Milwaukee to put some things around him. And I got some indictments on him that we'll get to later on in the show, but because I got some issues with Giannis. Again, because when you look at it over the last 6 to 8 years, they've tried. And he wasn't going up against some behemoths. You know, you mentioned Magic and the Lakers and Celtics. He wasn't going against those types of teams. To me, there was some – I had thoughts that I expected some more out of him. So we'll get there later on in the show. But my point is they put some pieces around him. They've gotten coaches he wanted. He seems to not be happy. He puts pressure on the organization. Then he doesn't. And then he says, I'm ready to stay here. Then he says, I'm ready to go. And I just think, again, if they're going to part, just part, wipe your hands clean breakup. Don't do the whole getting back together, flirting back, call you, text you back. Just cut it off so that it can be something where they're like, you know what, we had a good run. Because it'll get ugly if he keeps doing this.
All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Should the Bucks trade Giannis? Is he the new Benedict Arnold of the NBA? We'll continue this conversation with you next. It is the Odd Couple on a Worship Wednesday. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, right here on Fox Sports Radio. And you know what you need to do. Stick and stay.
Especially if you have Rob Parker's intro to the show piece of paper in the U.S. of A.
But, Rob G., one thing I didn't love last night was LeBron James staying in the blowout.
Well, the reason why he was on the bench when Bronny got posted up and Dylan Brooks missed that shot is because right before that, like 30 seconds before that, LeBron James hit a deep three-pointer to cut the lead from 25 to 22.
Close.
In the last 6 minutes of the game, and promptly subbed himself out. The reason being is because he hit that 10-point mark for the 1,297th straight time in the NBA. And Rob Parker texted me as soon as he did that. We got a new stat pad for
That's right.
And his name is LeBron James.
Because that's where we are. Kelvin, I know you're going to come up with some LeBron has earned the right to do whatever he wants story or excuse. Just embarrassing. LeBron, it's not going to change people's opinion that you're better than Michael Jordan because you have this meaningless streak. I'm sorry. You had a horrible shooting night. Mm-hmm. It was a bad night at the office. It's okay. Don't do this, make a mockery and a blowout. Imagine if he slipped on a wet spot and hurt himself or twisted something. Mm-hmm. People would say, what is he doing in the game in a blowout?
I'll tell you what I'm doing in this game. I'm going to get 10 points. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
No, go ahead. I mean, no, to me, it makes it just it's ridiculous.
This is a two-parter for me. One, and y'all know how I am about LeBron. I wish he had sometimes the people in his group would tell him in the group chat, that ain't it. The passive-aggressive, the random tweets in the middle of the night, you lost by 30. I thought I was the watch king. Bruh, put the phone down. This is another one. This is the stupidest stat that nobody remembers. This is not a home run stat. This ain't a season with a triple-double. Nobody remembers. I don't know. Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. I don't know how many games Michael Jordan had with 10 points. All I know is Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. I know he was an MVP and a defensive MVP. I know he has 6 in all the finals. I know he's been, multiple All-Stars and all the NBA. I don't know how many games Kobe Bryant, God bless the dead, had a 10 and Kareem had 10.
Nobody does it. Nobody cares.
This is the stupidest stat
Who
ever.
Came up with this?
So this one to me bothers me. Now, do I have a problem if you're staying in to get that triple-double? Steph Curry, I'm making it up to hit a three to win the all-time three-point. I have no problem with that. When you're going for stats that are impressive, stats are like, wow, all-time stats. Michael Strahan trying to get the sack and Brett Favre, saw him coming and kind of those are legendary stats. We all know the numbers. We all know those. 10-point game is, come on, Brian. 10? Not 20. 20 is, that's impressive. 20, okay, a couple, however many games it's been with 20 points. 10 is that. So this, to me, is a two-parter for me. This individual stat is ridiculous.
If it happened in a natural flow, but you're in a blowout.
You're in a blowout in year 20.
At the end of the game, and
you're 23. It
doesn't make sense. Like, the coach has to say, LeBron, what are you doing out there?
If he was chasing the all-time scoring, he's earned that. Steph Curry chasing some three-point in a blowout. I don't care. You've earned that. Tim Duncan, if you get this block in a meaningless, you're going for a block, to remember when David Robinson scored 73 points in a game because they were like, he's got a chance to win the scoring title? I'm cool with that. It's the last game of the season. Your team kept feeding you. He scored like 72, 73, whatever it was.
You know what? You remember who was it, Rob G., the woman at UConn who was in a full body cast? Need to score 2 more points. She was hurt.
Who was? I remember that too.
And they put her out there. She was She couldn't even run the court to score. She had to score 2 more points. She was injured. I swear, if I was the coach, I would have all 5 of my players stand around her and say, I don't care what anybody else is doing. She is not going to get a basket. Because she was injured.
Yeah, no.
And she couldn't play.
No, you listen. We ain't gonna let you have that on our. No, you ain't getting that record on us.
You know what I mean?
We're going full boxing 1.
Is that seriously?
Full body casket boxing, cast boxing 1 on this right now.
I remember that. I was like, oh, that's just
But my point seriously is, I don't mind when there's a great set. Let's say Russell Westbrook needed another rebound to get a triple-double that would have him 80 triple-doubles, something crazy. I'd be like, that's dope. Triple-doubles, we value that. We value three-point records. We value assist records. We value steals and block records. That I have no problem with. These guys who have played that long, they've earned that to get these all-time great records. Not a single human being on earth has ever referenced the 10-point-in-a-row record. Fox Sports Radio, Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Worship Wednesday. Some Christmas vibes for you. Don't forget to check out the brand new YouTube. As always, we're there. We're simulcasting, and you can be a part of it. All you got to do, join the Odd Mob. Just search Odd Couple FSR. We'll shout you out. We'll take some comments. You can like, you can subscribe, you can thumbs up, you can share. We appreciate all that. So go check out the YouTube. Again, all you got to do is search Odd Couple FSR, and you'll find us there. All right, we got some more conversations, some college football coming up. USC has something to be happy about, but I say, don't matter to me. We'll talk about that coming up in just a moment. Rob, 877-99 on Fox. Giannis, what you call him again?
Giannis, I think it's time for me to go. I call him Benedict Arnold. That's what he is, the new Benedict Arnold in the NBA. For walking out on the Milwaukee Bucks, basically saying, get me out of here.
Yeah, rip the Band-Aid off is what I say. It's all right, he served his time, they did enough, they won, move on. Rob says he was supposed to stay and be different than the other folks, and I can understand that. 877-99 on Fox, who we got?
All right, let's kick it off with Q in Arizona. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
What's happening, fellas? Happy
yo.
holidays. First thing I want to say is that the flesh is never going to be satisfied, for one. It'll never be satisfied. 2, I think Giannis if he desired to go somewhere else, let him go. They gave the city a championship. So if he's ready to go, then he's just ready to go. I know he's been flip-flopping, and I understand that the roster that they had, it was a good roster, but it just didn't work out. I don't know if it was a combination of the coach and the players, or it was just the players, or it was just the coach. But if he want to go, then I have no problem with it. So,
yeah.
There you go.
Appreciate it. No doubt, man. Happy holidays to you. Appreciate it. He was preaching right there, too. I caught that message, what he said. The flesh is never satisfied. He's preaching on the Worship Wednesday.
I disagree with that. I just think that there's a way of doing it, and Q, that's fine. And, I don't have a problem with him going, whatever. You don't have to be like everybody doesn't get to win. Seriously.
So, Rob, let me ask you a real question.
Do you want to be James Harden? Look at where James Harden's career gone. Seriously. He should be the poster child for trying to get a championship. He's been on 8 teams. He doesn't have an allegiance to anybody. He becomes a nomad. And I'm not saying Giannis is going to get there because he already won, but this whole idea, I just think in his standing, great players can stay in one place, be the king there. They made every move to try to help him. So it wasn't like they never did anything or never went after players or never went to make moves. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's why, again, go ahead, get the call. Yeah, go ahead.
JD in Houston, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, JD?
It's JB, man, the great JB, man, and I just want to say happy holidays. I want to say happy holidays to you, brothers, Mr. Washington and Chill Rob Parker, and the Chill Rob plus Bladder Rob G. And I just want to say this, man. I've been a Bucks fan since they drafted Kent Benson, man. I was like 8, 9 years old, 7 years old when they drafted Kent Benson. And I just say this, man, it's the coaching. And the bottom line to it, I get you with saying Benedict, Arnold, man, and everything, and it's kind of true, but I'm willing to let him go to Houston, man, for Şengün, A-Man Thompson, and a couple picks, man. And
he can go anywhere. He can go anywhere. Milwaukee's not going to win, so you could get your trade and take the players you want. You're not going to win. And you know what? Maybe
I don't know about that because he got to be healthy, man. First of all, he's never all the way healthy, man. He always hurt. It's something.
No, I'm talking about you won't win, and I'm not convinced that just because he goes somewhere else, they're going to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like that because that's
especially if he goes to the West.
Man. I say the same thing, man. Where you going to go and guarantee a championship? Nowhere. But, hey, man,
nowhere.
I thank y'all for taking my call, man, and I watch y'all faithfully, man. I'm on the road right now, man. I drive over the road for a living, man, and I watch y'all when y'all on YouTube, man. So
hey,
thank
man,
y'all,
we
man, for taking
that.
my call. But I'm a real Bucks fan, man, since Super Sidney Moncrief, Brian Winters, Junior Bridgman, and all them boys, man. So y'all boys take care. Happy holidays. God bless.
No doubt. God bless. Happy holidays to you. And rest in peace, Junior Bridgman, too, man. Legendary businessman as well as a hooper. We got somebody else?
Suki in Seattle. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Suki?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Happy holidays.
Same to you,
You
Suki.
too. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Hey, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I mean, if Giannis wants to go. And I wouldn't even be mad if he goes to the Warriors. Like, why not? He's looking to get championships. Like, do it. I mean, it's only 12 years, and he, just like you said.
Why don't you just go to the store and buy you championship trophies if that's all? I mean, come on. Your whole idea that he wants championships. Everybody wants championships. Patrick Ewing wanted a championship. Charles Oakley wanted a championship. Charles Barkley wanted a championship. Steve Nash wanted a championship. What does that mean?
Well, first of all,
you know whose fault this is, right? It's LeBron. It's LeBron's fault because he's the one who was like, "Oh, let me join with the super team." Not everybody wants to do it. It's a trend.
Well, Rob, I will say, appreciate the call. You brought up some guys though, like Barkley went to the Suns and got to the finals from Philly. Like, he went down to Houston with with them. So, like, Clyde and Keem. So, people been trying to get it way before LeBron, as he just mentioned LeBron. So, I just think, to me, that's also, it can be a clean breakup. Like, I don't think you have to sign a lifetime contract with somebody. He's put in 12 years. He gave them their all, his all. They gave them his all. So, I think it's okay. I don't mind him moving. But it got to do it cleanly because now it gets ugly to me.
Benedict Arnold, I wish you would go to another radio show trying to get a Marconi. I wish you would.
Hey, Rob G, you know good and well they call Rob right now.
What would you be to me?
I'll be dead to you. Rob G, you know if they called him, was like, hey, man, we got your 17th Hall of Fame to come in. If you come over this radio station, Rob will be out of here. Ooh, another Hall of Fame for me? I got to go, Kelvin. All right, on the way.
Now look at that. Now you think I'm like a Hall of Fame whore now.
You chasing Hall of Fame nominations and honor and inductions like LeBron was chasing rings is basically what's happening. Lincoln USC, they got the #1 recruiting class. I don't give a dang, and I'll tell you why on the other side. Right now, it is Monty Bolaños going to get you what's trending.
What's up, guys? Yeah, happy Wednesday. Happy to be hanging out with you. All right.
I was with your Clipper people today.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk. I'm so mad. I'm so annoyed. It's just like, this is all Nico Harrison's fault. He does one crazy thing, and now everyone thinks that they can just do stupid things all the time. I'm so annoyed. Yes, the Clippers released Chris Paul, reportedly after clashing with the organization for various reasons. Apparently, Paul and head coach Ty Lue haven't even spoken in weeks. So that is annoying. But moving on from the Clippers, Lakers are going to be without Luka Doncic tomorrow against Toronto for personal reasons. Suns are going to be without Devin Booker for at least a week with a groin strain. When it comes to the NFL, for tomorrow's Thursday night football game, Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown is questionable, and Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert, who had a plate and multiple screws put in to repair his fractured left hand, well, the plan is for him to play Monday night against the Eagles. The Buccaneers have opened the 21-day practice window for wide receiver Mike Evans, who did practice today. Ravens tight end Mark Andrews signed a 3-year, $39 million extension with the team. The Chiefs-Cowboys Thanksgiving Day game is the most-watched NFL regular season game in history. More than 57.2 million viewers watched the game on CBS. In college football, Kansas State head football coach Chris Kleiman is retiring after 7 seasons at the school. In baseball, the Dodgers are bringing back World Series hero Miguel Rojas on a 1-year, $5.5 million deal. Right now in the NBA, the Spurs are leading the Magic 28-26 late in the first quarter, just like the Nuggets and the Pacers, where Denver is up 27-17, and the Cavs lead the Trailblazers 31-25. Back to you guys.
Monty, thank you.
Jess.
Odd couple. No doubt. Rob and Kelvin on the Worship Wednesday. Again, check out the YouTube and always check out the podcast. Rob G working hard on that. We'll get that up in a little bit. Speaking of Rob G, man, this is signing day and all the recruits. Everybody's excited and people go by the rankings of how schools did. Talk to us about USC.
Yeah, they're really feeling themselves at Rob Parker's college right now because you mentioned 1 year after getting the #2 recruiting class in the nation, Lincoln Riley has secured the #1 college football class in 2026, making it the first time that a non-SEC team is #1 since 2008. The question then becomes, now that he's got all this incredible talent here in LA, what's he going to do with it?
I don't think he's going to do anything, Rob, because Lincoln Riley is like a other handful of these younger, Hollywood-looking guys who, I'm not saying they can't coach offense. I'm not saying they don't have some skill set as far as offensive coordinator and whatnot, and that they're horrible coaches. But his whole point specifically was to come to USC and turn this program around, right? Turn it around and make them the prominent days of Pete Carroll. Well, when you really think about it, first off, Rob, USC as a whole, what have they done in the last 30 years except for those, maybe 3 to 4 year run with Pete Carroll? USC has been overrated. And Lincoln Riley coming to be the savior, when he was 0-3 in college football playoffs at Oklahoma, he had Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams comes here to USC in LA here, and balls and wins a Heisman, but balls and doesn't win anything, any meaningful games, doesn't get to the college football playoffs. And then the next year, you still had Caleb Williams, and nothing comes from that. The defense is always a struggle as well. And I just feel like, okay, you got the number one recruit. You had the class. You had the same number one recruiting class last season. I just don't see it amounting to what the expectations are supposed to be. Will they win some games? Sure. Will they maybe win 9 games? Yeah. But they're supposed to be, at least in their minds, and probably unjustifiably, Rob, they're thinking they're going to be of the Georgias and the Alabamas and the, even what Notre Dame has become in the last handful of years and Ohio State. And that just has not been the reality. And the more you look at it, Rob, dang it, he looks like a slightly better version of Clay Helton, who everybody was mad at. Through their first 32 games, Clay Helton had a better record, and he ain't have a Heisman Trophy winner. 23-9. Riley's 22-10. If you start to look at the overall record, Riley's a slightly better. But to me, when you look at meaningful games, at least I don't see a big difference. He has a Heisman Trophy winner, but no championship rings to count for it. No college football playoffs. So I just feel like, all right, just prove it to me. Show me something. Don't just tell me about your recruiting class. Make it actually mean something.
Yeah, I never bought into a recruiting class. Obviously, I worked in Detroit for 20 years, and I used to remember seeing all the Michigan and Michigan State, and we got a great recruiting class, and we got everything we wanted, and Michigan never won. You know what I mean? Like, Michigan never won anything. So I never bought into that.
Stop being so loud. That's the dirty secret. That's the dirty secret. Michigan at 9-3 is pretty much regular there.
Exactly. But in Lincoln Riley's case, I think it's pretty obvious. He came, they paid him a lot of money, way more than he deserved because he hadn't won anything, even a postseason game, as you talked about. And it's been disappointing. Anybody who thinks what they've done at USC is good and Lincoln Riley and all that, all I ever hear is no one ever talks about the job he does. All they talk about is, well, who would you get to replace him? Because they feel like they're stuck. It's more about not that he's done a good job. Instead of defending his record, all they say is, well, who would you bring in?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the reason he should get to stick around because there's nobody else out there. Go overpay somebody else who hasn't won. That's what you did with him. Like, that's the thing that kills me. He didn't come there to USC with a championship in his back pocket or something, where you go, my God, they lured him away from Oklahoma. He's unbelievable. What did they do? No, he didn't win. And here you are 4 years in, and you have nothing to show for it. The big games they need to win, they don't win. They don't win big games on the road. You don't have to win. It's hard to win on the road in college football. I get it. Every once in a while, like for a overweight person, you say, hey, can you mix in a salad every once in a while? So the same goes for Lincoln Riley every once in a while. Can you mix in a big-time win?
Yeah.
Or on the road? Can you mix in one?
35-17 is not great for what he's supposed to be with the caliber. That short of years, and you already got 17, losses. I just, I want more. And honestly, Rob, as a whole of USC, right? You went through Sark. That didn't work out. That was a disaster. Again, Clay Helton, everybody didn't want him, but dang it, he was just as good as everybody else they're talking about. And then you got, of course, what happened with Lane Kiffin. And now you're here with Lincoln Riley where, okay, they win some games, but they're not where they want to be from a national standpoint, record program that's right up there with the top-notch programs. So USC as a whole, to be such a big-name school, hasn't really done anything. And they got a lot to deal with now being in the Big Ten. You're going to have to compete with the Michigans and the Ohio States, and if Penn State gets it right the next year or two, and Oregon as well. And you always got those outliers like Indiana now that just has popped up, and Wisconsin is often pretty good. So they're going to have their hands full, man. It being in this conference now, it's not going to be just as easy as it had once been. Kind of only have to worry about Utah and maybe a Washington every now and again in the Pac-12.
100%. And that's where we are. Again, you talk about Giannis wanting out to go try to win a national champ. It ain't easy winning national championships. It ain't that easy. Ask all these great schools that can't win. You know what I mean? That can't win.
Dude, it took
It's
Michigan. You know this
mind-boggling.
because you were there. Like Michigan, everybody knows the school, and they won in '97. They won that national title. Charles Woodson was there. Obviously, it was a really good team. They won. I think Brian Greasy was the quarterback. You know, I was at that game when they beat Ohio State with David Boston. That was crazy. But Michigan kind of had that USC run where, dude, they were 8-4 or 9-3, and you know the name of the school was
Jim
a little
Harbaugh Jim Harbaugh took a pay cut.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Yes. And so they finally got it going, you know, towards the end, you know, like that nice stretch with Jim Harbaugh when he got it going. But
when they started cheating and
my
looking
headphones
at
are
the
tripping. I
other
couldn't hear
team's
you.
signals. Yeah, I know. I know you didn't hear that.
What?
I watched that.
What, Rob?
That's when Jim Harbaugh finally won, when they started cheating and they knew what was coming. That was it.
Yeah, he souped up
Allegedly.
them khakis a
I'm just
little bit.
saying.
Like, all right, come on, we got it. Let's go find out what some other teams are doing a little bit. But my point is, as big of a name as Michigan was, if you fell for Mars, you would think they'd won a couple of titles in that stretch. You know, just based off the name and the hype, it hadn't been that way, and that's kind of USC. Pete Carroll, and maybe there's something to cheating, because Pete Carroll's run obviously ended up getting tainted and all that, and he had that nice run for a few years, and that's been it. For a very, very, very long time.
That's almost the history of college football. Seriously. I mean,
it is.
People paying under the table, paying for players. Like, if you really
SMU in the 80s,
Yeah, if you really pulled the rug back or the curtain back or the sheets back, man, it would be messy. It just would be.
Yeah.
If
Ineligible
people really
players
came
from grades.
Yes.
You remember that UNC scandal. They had them taking like Pilates as a they were taking yoga and Swahili and all types of stuff. Yeah, if you really do a deep dive, it'll get ugly for sure. But yeah, so they got the #1 recruiting class again. We'll see if it actually pans out. I do wonder, is the seat, let me ask you, is the seat hot? Is it warm? Is it scalding? Where do you think the seat is for him?
It ain't hot, obviously, because they seem to be okay with it. You know what I mean? Like that's what it feels like. I don't feel like he's under any imminent danger or whatever, or like they're going to pull the trigger. He had a ridiculous buyout coming into this year. One of my guys, Charlie, former students, was telling me that the buyout, and I didn't even believe him when he told me, because it was so ridiculous. Do you know what it was coming into this year?
I don't.
When he told me, I disputed it because I didn't believe the number he told me.
I don't actually know
what it is. I'm not even kidding you, and I didn't even know for $95 million coming into this year was the buyout. $95 million. Man. And I said, Charlie, what are you talking about? Because the number was so outrageous. And guess what? Googled it, $95 million buyout coming into this year.
No, that seat cold. Have a seat, bro. You ain't going nowhere. They ain't worry about it. That seat
exactly.
cold.
You ain't no hot seat.
You can't keep paying coaches, man. A lot of these schools and professional teams paying a lot of coaches, for always letting people go. So yeah, you might just have a seat right here and coach up. All right, on the way, Shekel City play of the day as well. We'll get you situated. Plus, Rob believes the Cleveland Browns aren't done with somebody. We'll tell you who that is. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
So Drake May continued his assault on the AFC. 24-31, 282, 2 touchdowns, no picks. The Patriots are now first in the conference, 11-2, only team in the NFL with 11 wins. And as a result, immediately after the game, BetMGM, DraftKings, FanDuel, pick your favorite website, installed Drake May as the new favorite to win the NFL MVP. He's currently going off at a consensus -135. He has surpassed Matthew Stafford. And just to give you some context on what Drake May is doing real quick, last night marked Drake May's 6th game this season, which he completed 75% of his passes, had 2 touchdown passes. That ties Matt Ryan in 2016 for the 3rd most in the season behind Tom Brady in 2007 and Jared Goff in 2024. The reason why that's notable is because both Tom Brady and Matt Ryan won the MVP in that season, something that Drake May is trying to do this season.
Rob G, Kelvin, I'm sorry. I'm going to pump the brakes on the Drake May, and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread and all that, and they're ready to crown him and whatnot. Rob G, did they not lose to the Raiders, this team?
They did. Sure, it was week 1, wasn't it?
They sure did.
Yeah.
And can we go, Rob G, can you go over the schedule for me?
I got it right here.
You got it? Okay, because they've only beaten 2 teams, I believe, I don't want to misspeak, over 500. Like they've had an unbelievable run of a lot. And I get it. If they're on the schedule, you got to do your thing. You know, I'm not mad at them. But really, this is like the old days when Tom Brady had 6 wins before the season started in the old AFC lease, right?
Yeah.
Like that. That's
I was going to say that.
That's what it feels like. Really.
Yeah, it all depends on how you want to look at it. As far as, are you counting the Panthers as a quality win when they beat them?
No, I'm not.
Because now they're 7-6.
I get it, but I'm saying
the Bills, they beat the Bills back in October, 23-20, which obviously that's a good win.
That's a good one.
And then they beat the Bucks back in November, and that was a good one, 28-23. And then as far as your standards to your likings, that would be it. Because you got a Jets, you got some Falcons, you got some Titans.
Look at all these bad teams.
You got some Bengals. You got and then obviously the Giants.
And they're not
you got
walking
the
like
Saints.
an Egyptian. I'm just telling you.
They got the Saints too. So yeah,
the Aints.
It's
awful. That schedule that Drake May has beat, it stinks. I'm sorry. I'm not going to crown the guy and the Patriots and Mike Vrabel is now the greatest football coach ever. Like, stop. All the madness. Context matters. Who are you beating?
This is why. Go ahead. I want you to finish. Because this is why I want to fight you.
Who are you beating? It does matter. I'm talking about when you try to look.
Mm-hmm.
You got to beat people in front of you. Don't get me wrong. But if you're going to start telling people that they're MVP and this guy's the greatest coach and all that, that's where I'm going to push back. I'm not pushing back on their record. That's what the record is.
Right.
Just like Rob G, how many years ago was it when the Steelers were 11-0? And I raised my hand and I said that's the worst 11-0 team I ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got in the playoffs and got smacked around. That's all I'm saying.
I actually get what you're saying because one of the things you could look at with the Patriots, and I think this is why the Patriots, maybe to an extent the Broncos for some people, maybe the Bears.
See, Broncos are different from me.
That defense.
They can win a Super Bowl with that defense.
I agree.
I'm dead serious.
But I think there's a handful of teams that have really, even the Eagles, right, got a good record. People are like, I don't know, this is a weird team. Season where you're like, there's no Patriots of old where you're like, all right, it's the Patriots. No Peyton Mannings of old with the Colts where you're like, all right, that's who they are. There's no Kansas City Chiefs of 4 or 5 years ago where you're like, oh, that's the Chiefs. This is one of those weird years. It's like, all right, the Patriots are 9-3. Do you buy it? Because when you look at who they beat, by the way, even to add to your point, when you look at who they beat, they weren't destroying them. They got some games where it's like, all right, you beat the Saints, but you barely beat them. You beat the Titans, but you barely beat them. There's some teams on here where you're like, I would have expected a blowout against these bad teams. I know you can't blow out everybody, but here's where I got smoked with you, sir. I actually understand your point. He's playing very well. He's only beating who's in front of him. What is he supposed to do? But then there's somebody else who has been doing that and beating some good teams, and his numbers are incredible. And that's Matthew Stafford. So my thing is, who's going to be the MVP if you got Matthew Stafford beating quality teams? That's a great record, 9-3. He had a dud this past Sunday. He knows that. Drake May, great record, great stats, but he's beating bad teams and a couple of good. Who you want, Rob? think, top 3 Christmas songs, right? Top 5, maybe top 3.
I hit it so good today.
Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Worship Wednesday. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. Shout out to everybody who's called in already and told us they've been rocking with us throughout the holidays. We appreciate you as always. Let's get into it. It is now time for Shekel City.
Welcome to Shekel City, the home base for Rob Parker's daily picks against the spread.
How you doing?
All right, 2-1, 93
Nice.
and 80 is
Yay.
the record.
We're doing a nice run, young
13
man.
over. Thank you, LeBron. Tight pants. Cargo shorts. Tighter pants. The cargo shorts. The cargo shorts. All right, here we go tonight. The cargo shorts. My best bet. I'm taking Milwaukee. Plus 4.5. This is the swan song. Hey, Giannis. Here's a game to win a game for you to tell you to stay. I'm going to take Milwaukee plus 4.5. They're hosting the Pistons. I'm going to take Sacramento, better known as NBA Siberia. I'll take Sacramento plus 15.5 in Houston. Plus 15.5. They lose, but they cover the spread. And I'm going to take Brooklyn plus 7.5 in Chicago. They started off really good, the Bulls.
Yeah, they
9-11.
They've started off a surprising little team. All right, yeah.
Am I right?
No, it's been a rough last,
They're
9 games for them.
9-11 right now. Yeah. So I'm going to go there. So once again, I got best bet, Bucks plus 4.5 at home. I got Sacramento plus 15.5 on the road at Houston, and Brooklyn plus 7.5 on the road against the Bulls. And remember, I'm not telling you who to bet on. I'm telling you who I bet on.
I ain't paying for that.
I ain't paying for that. All right. Now it's time for your Tire Rack play of the day.
Bounced it for Boozer, a 3. Got it! A rainbow to give him the lead with 2:05 to go. Timeout, Josh Shire. We break for 30. Duke up 62-59.
Rob G, who was that again? I'm not even going to hold you. Yeah, it was them. Shout out to them. That was your Tire Rack play of the day. For over 40 years, Tire Rack's been helping customers find the right tires for how, for what, and for where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by Free Road Hazard Protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. That's right. If you're at work, you're at home, you're somewhere, they will bring it to you. TireRack.com. It is the way tire buying should be. And we got some news about the Cleveland Browns, Rob, and what they're trying to do. Today, the Browns designated Deshaun Watson a return to practice from the physically unable to perform list, opening a 21-day window for him to be activated to the active roster. We know he obviously missed all last season with that Achilles injury. It's just been obviously personally, physically, been a rough go the last couple of years for him. You and I disagree on this with what's new. We disagree on a lot. But you believe that he's still likely going to be the starter when healthy.
100%. I just think it's a money thing. They're going to have to pay him, and they're going to put him back out there to see if they can get something from this. This is not about a saving face. It's about the idea that you just can't walk away from him. You saw that with Russell Wilson. Like, this will really damage. I don't know all the particulars with the numbers, but everywhere I've talked to people in the NFL said this is very difficult, that this will set their franchise back if they don't go forward with him. That's why they're going through all this. Why go through all this at this point, right? Why even activate him and all that? Because they feel like if he's healthy, we got to see if this guy, we can get something out of him. And you got two young quarterbacks who don't need to play right away. They need to get some action and get some, which they did this year. Mm-hmm. But them with the two other established quarterbacks going into this year tells you where they are. And then you got to look at Stefanski and the GM there, where their jobs are, and you know what I mean, going into this offseason. That's the only reason. I'm not saying.
Go ahead. Finish.
It's because he's some great quarterback. He hasn't been great there. But there's financial things that you just can't shake, and I think this is one of them.
I completely get what you mean, because if you're looking at the numbers here, because I got the numbers for you.
Do you have them? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, $85 million dead cap when they released Russell Wilson. So that was a record. Remember they did that, and everyone was like, wow, that's crazy. Well, it will be, you ready for this? $173 million in one season if they did that for Deshaun Watson.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You think they're going to release him? You said they were going to.
I think
he wasn't going to play.
I don't think he's going to play here, and the reason why is not just the money; it's that he wasn't good. He was like 1-6 the last time we saw him. The juju, whatever mojo, the whatever you want to call it, the pixie dust around the team and him, and just none of that's good. And I just think all of that put together, they're going to want to find a way to move on. And if they can find maybe somebody who will
find
take
a way. Then you just said the number there. You just
maybe
said
somebody
people went
what
crazy.
do we always say?
When Denver ate
teams.
85, it ain't nobody eating 172, man. You need to own up to it. You're going to be wrong on this one.
Somebody might think he's good.
How about that?
He'll play if he's injured.
You didn't even know that. I knew it was a big number. You got to admit, you didn't know it was 172.
He ain't playing. It don't matter. He going to sit and make the 20.
We are Fox Sports.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is.
Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham! We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all, so I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You got to be kidding.
He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable.
He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape with the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win, sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special.
Yes.
Who wants some?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio. Yeah.
In the NBA, the agent for Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo has initiated talks with the team's front office over the future of the two-time MVP. ESPN reports that a resolution is expected in the coming weeks. The Clippers released guard Chris Paul after reportedly clashing with various levels of the organization. NBA insider Chris Haynes reported that Paul and head coach Ty Lue hadn't spoken in weeks. Right now, the Clippers have a 22-16 lead over the Hawks late in the first quarter, just like the Hornets and the Knicks, where New York is up 22-12. In the second quarter, the Spurs are leading the Magic 53-42, Nuggets over the Pacers 61-45, and the Trailblazers are leading the Cavaliers 55-48. In men's college hoops, at the half, number 22 Indiana tied against Minnesota at 33. In the NFL, the Buccaneers have opened the 21-day practice window for wide receiver Mike Evans. I'm Monty Bolaños.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
It is the Odd Couple on a Worship Wednesday. Happy holidays to you all. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. Coming up a little bit later on, we've had a great show so far. If you missed anything, go check out the podcast. Always check out the YouTube channel as well. Deion Sanders might be putting his school in a financial struggle. We'll touch on that in a little bit. We also got to do One's Got to Go towards the end of the hour as well. So a whole lot in this hour as well. Plus some big news, Rob, in the NBA. In our town here in L.A., some big news happened today. Rob G., about a handful of weeks ago, this was supposed to be ceremonious, right? The return of Chris Paul back to L.A. He was emotional. Fans greeted him. It was supposed to be the return of the Lob City point guard, and things have changed so quickly, right?
That's right. Paul Pierce has just been eclipsed for having the worst farewell tour in NBA history. Because in case you've been living under a rock, Chris Paul was...
Rob G., where'd you get that from?
Get what?
What you just said, because that was actually funny. Where'd you get that from?
I stole that from your joke book that you left here in the studio.
No, I'm asking.
No,
I'm
you just clever sometimes, every once in a while.
All right. I'm impressed.
The Clippers are currently in Atlanta taking on the Hawks. They're actually up by 6 points right now, middle of the first quarter. But in the overnight hours at 2:30 a.m. Eastern, to be specific, Chris Paul announced via Instagram that the team told him to go home. You're not welcome here anymore. And according to ESPN's Shams Charania, Chris Paul, before he got sent home, had not been on speaking terms with head coach Ty Lue for weeks because Chris Paul and his quote-unquote leadership style had been clashing with everybody around. He's very vocal about holding management, coaches, and players accountable. You'll recall about a week ago, he put the literal definition for leeway on his Instagram story. Very cryptic. Long story short, Chris Paul is gone. He's at home. According to the LA Times, very few teams are interested, if any, in bringing him back. So this farewell tour not going the way we expected it would.
This is a lesson, Kelvin, for all people out there. You got to know where you fit in. Chris Paul still thinks he's that dynamic guard from 10 years ago, and everybody wanted his services, and they were going to win a championship. And when they were up 2-0 against the Suns in the NBA Finals, he's a top 3 point guard. Remember all that?
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, Chris Paul. You ain't that anymore. And when you're not good enough as a player, you can't be a jerk. That's what he was. Kelvin, I've been covering the league since
1987.
and I talk to a lot of people around the league, this is his MO, right? Calling people out, rubbing people the wrong way, telling players, I'll get you up out of here like he's the GM, just all that.
Yep.
It comes as no surprise. When you're averaging 2 points and you're not playing, nobody wants you to be a squeaky wheel. It doesn't mean that anything he said about the team and the players, they had an awful season. He's not the messenger. He's not the guy to deliver that message. I don't care about the career, how long you play. You're not playing. You're not a veteran who's still starting, the starting point guard. You're not playing. You're averaging 2 points. Kelvin, you got to know better. You have to. I bring up this story all the time. Fantasy Island. I'm not equating Chris Paul to Tattoo, but I'm just trying to say.
Okay.
Tattoo was on a very popular show, Fantasy Island, with Ricardo Montalban. He wanted Montalban money. He went to the producers at ABC and demanded Montalban money. He's a little person with a couple of lines.
Mm-hmm.
The plane is not going to get you equal money. You're not an equal star on the show. Did ABC bend, the producers bend, Kelvin? Did they bend? No.
No.
What'd they do? They replaced him.
They said, all right, cool, peace.
Peace. And the Clippers did the same exact thing. He wasn't good enough anymore. You can't be not good or so-so or bad or whatever you want to say and think you have the same clout as when you were a big-time star in the NBA. I don't care about how long you played, all that other stuff. There's a way of going about it. There's a way of being a player's coach, dealing with young players, passing along. Do you know what I mean? Not to be a distraction. And that's why Chris Paul, his farewell tour got detoured and the bus went off the cliff. That's what happened.
Chris Paul, Rob, has lived long enough. You know that old phrase they say, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I feel like Chris Paul, the allegory of his NBA career, if you look back, he was the babyface assassin when he was with the Hornets and maybe making that team overachieve and battling against Kobe and the Lakers in playoff. You're like, man, this kid is good. And ends up becoming the elite. Not only do they call him a point guard, they call him the point god. And we thought of him as the ultimate leader, and he was going to ultimately become a Laker. David Stern says no to that, and then he becomes a Clipper in Lob City. As you know, you were here some of those years. Becomes the sexy pick. They were the it team before the Warriors. People wanted, they're going to win a championship. They were fun to watch, and it never manifested. But Chris Paul then started to become, it went bad with him and Blake Griffin. You heard all the stories about them not getting along with this guy, him and DJ getting into it. And then you hear about him and Doc getting into it. Then he goes to other teams, and the teams are good because he's a very good player, one of the all-time greats, and they always overachieved. You kind of thought, oh, okay, the Rockets' house is going to work with him and Russell Westbrook. It worked. He didn't get hurt. They might have went to the finals. It worked with OKC. But all the other stuff, we would hear how he would just grind people's gears. He would wear on people. He could never change. He would never evolve his style as far as getting along with people. You hear stuff about telling, don't do what the coach said, do this, do that. And so it's remarkable to me that a guy the first 7-8 years of his career was beloved, was one of the most entertaining, had all the commercials. He was Chris and Cliff Paul. He was the guy, became kind of the grumpy old man and go on to teams and they're not liking him and things aren't going good. It's just been remarkable to see that happen over the years of his career. And you mentioned it. You can be on a team and be a guy that's not necessarily producing, but still be a veteran presence and guys respect you and listen to. But part of you doing that is it's okay to evolve. And it sounds like he never evolved. I'll give you an example. Somebody who he was going to be paired with, which would have been insane as far as the locker room, was him and Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant talks about he had to evolve as a leader because the way his approach was the first 7, 8, 9, 10 years of his career wasn't going to get it, if he was trying to win. He had to find other ways to motivate, find other ways. He talked about, I got to be in with guys. He talked about, I had to have these personal relationships. Guys are bringing in baggage. They were going through things in life. I got to tap in with the guy, not just the player. And it seems like Chris never evolved. Like, just the way he was, he runs hot. He's always, all on go, and that just seemed to rub guys the wrong way. So much so that the organization that brought him back to kind of be the staple. This is the guy, Rob, who was supposed to get the first jersey up in the rafters of the Intuit Dome. This was the guy who's supposed to be the first statue there, right? This is supposed to be bring him back. He was at our best years, he was our leader, and now it's looking like that might not happen. Now it's looking like that relationship is fractured. And the last thing I'll say is, at the end of the day, Rob, the Clippers gonna clip. The Clippers, you had Chris Paul, Blake, Jamal Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, all these great players for years, got nothing for it. You get a new owner, spending money, he's great, he's enthusiastic, you start nothing for it. You get Kawhi Leonard. I'm not coming unless you get Paul George. You get Paul George. You got Kawhi. You got James Harden over the years. You got a new arena. Nothing to show for it. For all of this, if I told you all the guys that you'd have, Paul George, Kawhi, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Jamal Crawford, who am I missing? Did I say James Harden? I mean, all these guys, Russell Westbrook. And at the end of that run, you have one Western Conference final appearance. The Clippers going to clip, man.
Yeah, but they did the right thing here, though. You can't have somebody disrupting, even in a bad situation that they're in. You can't disrespect your bosses. You can't disrespect the front office. You can't disrespect the other people you work with. Dude, you should go on Twitter and look at all the ex-players who play with him saying, I can't stand that guy. Or like,
that's what I'm
they
saying,
don't
Rob. Like,
how it went
everywhere
down.
he
Like,
goes.
it's just unbelievable. Go look. Go look.
Let me ask you a question. I got one for you.
This is the trail that was left. But when he was a star, it's harder to push back on. You know that.
Especially because he was a point guard, so you viewed it as, leader. He's got to be doing something right. He's a leader. He's the consummate leader. Rob G, I want to ask you this to both of you guys. If I'm just talking playing on the court, he's still one of my all-time favorite point guards to watch and also just period, like where he stands for me. Do you believe what we've seen over the last 10 years, people call him dirty player, you see him punching guys, elbowing guys into you-know-whats, just doing dirty plays, kind of becoming grumpy. Do you think that has hurt his stature, the player, like where the rankings and where how people view? Because I feel like he went from, to Rob said it, top 3, 4 point guard ever to like now, guys. I heard the other day with a bunch of former players, they're like, yeah, he's like top 7, 8, 9, maybe 8, top 10 for sure. I'm like, wait a minute. A decade ago, this dude was top 3, 4, maybe 5 at the latest. Do you think that's hurt him?
I don't. I think that when you look at his resume, it's up there with everybody not named Steph, Magic, and Isaiah. Like he has.
I feel like
11-time All NBA. He's been in the top 10 in the MVP like 7 times. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like Chris Paul. And you mentioned that he's rubbed people the wrong way for a long time. Part of it was he kind of had to be that kind of player to get the most out of his abilities. Because, he's 5'10" on a good day. He's like a $180, not super quick, can't jump high, but he was crafty and he was a bulldog and did everything he had to do to win. And it's funny that you mentioned these former players who say that they don't think he's that great or that he rubbed them the wrong way. What do they all have in common, everybody who said that? None of them have won anything. So maybe he was doing what he thought they could do to win.
I'm going to push back on that. I'm going to push back on that because he didn't win anything either.
He won more at every spot he went to than the team before.
He didn't win. Ultimately, everybody, and you remember this, wanted to crown them when they were up 2-0 with the Suns.
What have the Suns done since then, Rob?
No, I agree.
Every team he's gone to was better with him than without him.
That doesn't mean just because you don't win doesn't mean you can't have criticism. I'm just saying I've heard it from too many people over.
Yeah, but all the people you've heard it for didn't win. Blake Griffin never won anything. DeAndre Jordan never won anything. James Harden never won anything. Like, you could go down the list.
There are people, I'm going to tell you, I'm not. people who have won in this league told me that a bad stuff.
Who?
That he's a
Rob,
bad.
want names,
I don't
Rob?
wanna
You say that on the air all the time. No, give me names.
I'm not going to say
Brady
names.
Quinn. Tell me which coach has done that.
You do be
Brady
saying that,
Quinn.
Rob. You do be saying
I'm not going to say who it is.
What I'm saying is yes, and I could see how it would rub people the wrong way because he is diminutive
intense
and
at all
he's intense
times.
all
He
the time.
runs
Yes.
hot at all times.
That is
Him
totally
and Kobe
acceptable.
would have been the scariest teammates to be. They would have ran everybody.
He
off
would
the
not
team-
have
off the
been
team.
sent home off on this if they hadn't. You think that it just happened last week?
Yeah, but this
Like
is
they
also
put
a
up with
Clippers
it, they put up
organization that
with it.
disrespected Blake Griffin on his way out the door. This is
Here's
a team.
what he left
This
back.
is a
Yeah,
team that is allegedly
Nah.
gave Kawhi Leonard like $30 million in unmarked bills behind the back of a toilet seat because
Yeah, all
they
right,
don't
but
seem to
that-
be doing things the right way.
What you're doing though is clouding what Chris Paul did for them to be able to send, and he won't be signed by anybody. Nobody.
Well,
Dude,
because he's a
after they find- they
41-year-old
already-
point guard who can't move
No,
anymore.
I get it, but but it could have been a nice send off, and he ruined
This
it.
is,
He
it's
he
crazy to
ruined it.
think that we're here
He
when he
ruined
got
it.
back here. He got
Can you
back
say
here.
that, Rob G? Who
No.
ruined it? He ruined
No,
it.
the Clippers did. The Clippers are 5-16 right now. They're kowtowing to Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and Ty Lue.
Yeah.
None of them have been a good leader in any shape, sense of the word. Kawhi is under investigation allegedly for caping money.
I'm sorry.
James
I'm
Harden,
not going to allow you.
James Harden
I'm
is
not
in the
gonna
business
allow
of
you
James
to let
Harden.
Chris Paul off the hook.
How am I
for
letting him
being-
off the
for
hook?
Being a bad guy.
He's the
For being a
14th guy
bad
on the bench.
Nah.
Yeah.
On a
Here's
5-16
Here's
team.
why I think. Here's why I think the two things. Chris Paul's demeanor, Chris Paul's aptitude to want to compete, Chris Paul's making every organization better on the court. I think he came there and saw how they've been running it, who they've been signing, and I think as opposed to just fitting in on my last little hoorah, I think he came in there and disrupted. You know, like, hey, this how y'all doing? This why y'all sign? Why would y'all put this guy with us? Why? And I think they didn't like that. And I think they're like, man, you can't come in here. We brought you in here for the ceremonial, ride this thing out with us. And I think he came in there high strung on this is how you win. You do it this way. And they didn't like that. And Lawrence didn't like
What
it.
has he
Ty
won? What has he won?
Every team he goes to, he's
No,
gone
what
to
has
been
he
better.
won, Kelvin?
He absolutely
Answer
didn't
the
win. I'm
question.
answering. He has not won
What did he
anything.
win?
He hasn't won
Okay, he
anything.
didn't win anything. He's
But
just like the Clippers. He didn't
No,
win,
well,
and the
don't go that
Clippers
far.
didn't win.
Don't go that far.
Yes.
He ain't the
what
Clippers.
did he win?
He's
what
gone
did he
to
win?
the finals. They ain't
Did he
gone to
win the
finals.
championship?
No, that's for
Did he
sure.
win the
And
Okay.
absolutely not. And that's a part of his.
Trying to crown him like he's coming in. He's Michael Jordan. He's telling you how
I'm
to
saying
win
that's
titles.
why it didn't work,
Come
because
on,
he
man.
came in.
You're averaging 2 points. You're 41 years old. Stop it. You're not 25.
That's why I disagree with that part. I think you can be a Juwan Howard, Jared Dudley guy on the team who ain't averaging nothing and be a great leader. I'm agreeing that his approach probably was wrong, but I think his approach was wrong because he used them as
probably or definitely probably.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure Chris Paul, and Tyronn Lue didn't like it. Don't come in here telling me how to run it. I done been running this team with the injured Kawhi, injured James Harden.
What's the difference between Chris Paul and Tyronn Lue? What's the difference between
Tyronn
those
Lue got
two?
a ring.
Okay, there you go. He's a championship coach. There you go.
Right. Oh, you know I like Tyronn Lue.
All right. Well, all right. We'll 877-99 on Fox. We're also gonna get see what Monty has to say. She can chime in on this. She's
that's
close to
her
the
squad.
Clippers. That's her team. But we want to hear from you on this as well. And basically, did the Clippers do the right thing by cutting ties with Chris Paul? We'll continue that conversation next with you. It is The Odd Couple, 877-99 on Fox. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, right here on Fox Sports Radio. And you know what you need to do. Stick and stay.
Especially if you need some insight from Uncle Rob in the US of A.
Obviously, there was the Mike Tomlin booing, and people want to, fire Mike Tomlin, and we do have the sound on that. Let's take a listen. You know what? It's not surprising at all. And I've said this to you before, that they haven't won a playoff game in a long time. You can't keep resting on that championship. It's the same thing like John Harbaugh. And I said it both. And he's been coached. Think about this. Mike Tomlin, 18 years. Dude, and that finishing above 500 or at 500 or better, mediocre, like, okay, like, is that's cool, like, for a few years, if you mix in another one or another championship or something. So I'm not against. I understand the frustration of the Steelers fans. This is real. Fans want to win. Like, there's and we get it. You don't get to win that many times. You know that if you could see your team win in your lifetime once or twice, you're good.
Yeah.
And the Steelers won, but what was that? That was before, because they lost to the Packers in 2010. So was it before that, or Rob G? When was that?
Yeah, they
2008 or 9.
I know they won with because they won in Detroit when the Super Bowl was in 2006. But I think that was Cowher's last one. So I think he won.
Did they beat Seattle? Was that the one?
Yeah. So that, but I think that was Cowher's, and then he went off into the sunset. Yeah, 2009. So 2009,
and then
that was a great.
And then they lost the next
game.
year, right?
A year or two later, they walked to the Packers. Yeah.
Was that 2 years later, or I thought they won in 2010? No.
Yeah. Well, it's always that weird just because the Super Bowls and the next year.
But anyway, my point is, if I'm Pittsburgh. So twice, right?
Yep,
so
they
twice
won a couple years later.
So then, but then it's been a long drought for a long time, and people get restless. The natives. So I'm fully. If I'm the Steelers organization, and I know they don't do it because they've had 3 coaches over 50 years or whatever it's been. It feels like about that, right? 3 coaches in 40
that ain't
years.
Crazy. Yeah,
maybe 40. Is that the right number? But anyway, my point is, unless they get to the Super Bowl, I'm ready to move off of Mike Tomlin. I've had enough. I think you need a new voice. They could even get a playoffs, win a playoff game, and I still would be ready to move off. That's where I am. And that sounds hard because you go, well, you took the next step. I just think that it's played out. It's old. There'll be other teams that would take him overnight.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
he get a job overnight.
The brother ain't going to be unemployed long.
Sometimes you just need to move off. And we saw that with Tony Dungy. I brought that up before. Now, he wasn't there that long, but he couldn't get over the hump in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And John Gruden showed up. Now, John Gruden, other than that year, he wasn't a coach.
Man,
but
he owed Tony Dungy a check.
You remember that, Rob G. Showed up. And then, of course, to play his former team, that helped, right? He knew what was going on. And that defense,
man, that's one of my favorite teams all time.
They scored more points than the offense, dude. They were getting interceptions and running them all back.
Dude, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp,
that team
McFarland, Rondé Barber.
That team was amazing.
Was it Simeon Rice? No, that team was that. That was insane. It was like Miami 01 and Miami. Certain of the Miami teams were like, okay, everybody in the entire defense is going to the NFL.
Keyshawn was on that team.
Yeah, Keyshawn.
I covered
Brad
that. That was the number one offense against the number one defense.
And what did they say? Defense wins championship.
And
Rich Gannon was like,
yes.
what the heck is this? A couple of things. Number one, the Steelers always tell us that the standard is the standard. And dang it, what is the standard now? Upper tier, mid? Because that's what they become, Rob. When it was 16 games, they'd be, 9 or they'd be 9-7. 8, now they'd be what, 10-7 or 9-8. That's like what they have been the last decade or so. They've been having such bad offensive. They've been struggling offensively. And I can see why the fans will be like, enough is enough. We've given grace. We've given time. We said, okay, this quarterback is young. Okay, this one, we've gotten Aaron Rodgers. Like, we've done a multitude of things. This just ain't it. And so they decided to move from Mike Tomlin. 18 years in the 2020s and 2010s is a remarkable gig. That doesn't happen in sports. That doesn't happen in the world anymore. Gone are the days of your father working for IBM or the GM plant in Detroit for 30, 40 years, 50 years. This is a different era. This is the what have you done for me lately era. And if you haven't done something in 3-4 years, usually you're out the door. So Mike Tomlin has been elicited some grace that other coaches don't often get. So I look at this. You mentioned the fans are staying. We're used to a Super Bowl being a chance, right? A chance. They had historically a chance. They had a nice run with Ben Roethlisberger where we got to a couple Super Bowls. We won one, and we were right there on the edge a few years. They were used to being relevant. The Steelers are no longer relevant in a positive way. Radio, Couple Rob, Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Worship Wednesday. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, for what, and for where they drive, ship fast and free. Backed by Free Road Hazard Protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com. It is the way tire buying should be. So, Rob, this is what we'll do. Well, let's just get straight to Monty here, and we'll come back and we'll continue some more of this Chris Paul Clipper conversation. Get her thoughts as well. Obviously, that's her squad. And maybe take some calls, too. Hey, Monty.
Hi, guys. A lot of thoughts here. A lot of thoughts. Okay, Rob, Parker, real quick. When you were talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, how many times did you say, it is so hard to win anything? It is so hard to win a championship. I'm just going to point that out that you said that. As a Clippers fan, I have experienced many years of nobody being held accountable on a roster. Nobody being held accountable when you're up in a series and you can close it out or in a game. And we are not in a good position. We have started off like ass. We are not good in any way, shape, or form. And just because Chris Paul is 40 and he's not playing at an elite level, why did you sign him? Oh yeah, you signed him so that he could end his career as a Clipper and finish the season. You knew what you were signing. You knew the type of player. You guys just said he's been around forever. We know exactly the type of personality it is. And yeah, it could be that he rubbed people the wrong way, but that doesn't mean what he was saying wasn't correct. Who's being held accountable for what the Clippers are doing? And we have nothing to do. We are stuck for 2 years like this. Like, it's frustrating to watch a team that was top 10 in defense last year be in the bottom 5 in defense this year when we are not getting any younger. We're only getting older, and there's not much of a future for the next 2 years. It's frustrating, and I can see why Chris Paul was frustrated. And if he rubbed you the wrong way, suck it up, man. This is an awful start to the season, and I really cannot believe that the Clippers may not even get an opportunity to play in the play-in this year, to play in the stupid playoffs. Like, this was bad for the fans. Now, why am I going to go watch a Clipper game? If we're not going to make the playoffs, why would I go watch a Clipper game? Before, I could have at least gone to see Chris Paul play 5 minutes, and I could have cheered for him. Because Chris Paul will
Monty, ain't nobody paying no money to go to
I'm not asking you to do that, but whatever. Okay. That's
nobody.
you, Rob.
Come
no,
on,
Rob,
Monty.
what are you talking about? You're talking to a Clipper fan. You stop it. You stop it. You're not a Clipper fan.
Nobody paying $5 to see. He was
I'm
averaging
telling you
4 or 5
that I would,
minutes.
but I'm telling
Really?
you that I would. Yes, I would. I went to opening day just so I could see the last opening day for Chris Paul. I'd never been to a Clippers opening day. I went this year because I wanted to see Chris Paul enter for the last time on an opening day. That's why I went. So to say that people aren't going to do that, you're not going to do that. Okay, but there are people that would have gone to see Chris Paul one last time.
Chris Paul, in his situation, Monty, there's a time and a place. You have to know where you fit in.
Yeah, you do. I agree.
Admit,
yeah.
He's a bench player playing 5 minutes.
What was the point of bringing him in
There's a way
at
of handling
all?
it. There's a way of talking to people. There's a way of talking to people, Monty. You could want to make changes at Fox Sports Radio. If you go in and yell at Scott and Don and tell them what they should do, I guarantee you won't be on the air.
Well, yeah, I haven't been in the business 20 years. Of course, I haven't been in an organization before that I took to the furthest
That's
that they've ever been.
not the way that you do it. I don't care who you are. That's not the way.
And also, like, sometimes, like, just because he's harsh doesn't mean he's not saying the truth. It's almost like they just don't want to face the truth, so they got rid of him.
Well, that's the thing. I'll jump in here. This is the thing that's interesting about the Clippers is Steve Ballmer ain't firing Steve Ballmer, right? We know that. Lawrence Frank has had free reign, and a lot of the decisions they've made have come to him. They find a way to keep Norman Powell.
Wait a minute. This team a few times had good teams ready to go. Doc Rivers was the coach and couldn't get it done, and he choked. How many times did Doc Rivers, when he was there, they gave him multiple opportunities, so don't act like they weren't in position at all or ever. They choked.
Right.
They choked down there. Denver down 3-1. Mm-hmm. They choked. Mm-hmm. Look at Doc Rivers' record. Nobody's held accountable. They fired Doc Rivers after they gave him 8 chances. They did.
But I'm saying they are getting chances that some other coaches and GMs don't get. I like Tyronn Lue. You know that we're both, think he's a good coach. But, I don't know what he's going to do as far as if he wants to continue to stay around in this mess. I think he has been upset with how they've had to handle Kawhi Leonard all these years. I think he's really been more mad at that than anything. So, Monty, you can as far as we can hit us with the updates, maybe 877-99 on Fox. We can take some calls on it, too, if people want to jump in on that.
Give you a couple scores here. Clippers are up on the Hawks 45-40 late in the second quarter. Late in the third quarter, the Spurs lead the Magic 78-64. Nuggets over the Pacers right now 88-61. And the Trailblazers have a 78-62 lead over the Cavs on the road. In men's college hoops with 10 minutes to go, number 22, Indiana losing to Minnesota 46-43. In the NHL, the Flyers scored 3 goals in 60 seconds, took the lead. They're up on the Sabres right now 3-1 after the first period. And for Thursday Night Football, it's Lions and the Cowboys. Wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown of Detroit questionable for tomorrow's game. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Monty. 877-99 on Fox. Maybe take a few calls on this. Rob G, we got some because obviously, a lot of people might have something to say with this. I mean, he was Lob City's darling, brought him back, supposed to be the farewell, the swan dive, and it just did not. He's out of there. This did not happen.
Swan song.
Swan song. Sorry,
swan
song.
Dive.
Yeah, exactly. Swan song turned into swan dive.
That was a Freudian slip because that's exactly what it was. All right,
it did. It's just
Jordan in DC.
How did we get here? Go ahead, Jordan.
Jordan in DC, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, Rob and Kelvin?
What's up, man?
Doing great.
Nothing much. So I agree with you, Rob. The Clippers obviously will always clip. They're just a snake bitten team with terrible luck. But I don't like how I think Chris Paul gets brought into discussions that like that's almost above his weight class. Like I was noticing Rob G when he was talking about how the Clippers need leadership. He brought up James Harden as like a lack of a leader. I feel like Harden has held that team on his back for the last year and a half. What makes Chris Paul more of a leader than James Harden is in terms of a career? I think that's the problem people have with Chris Paul is that he gets elevated into a class that he's never proven to get himself into. I don't think he is Magic or Zeke or Curry. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
No doubt.
Yep. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it. I hear you. I mean, he gets like he's done something. Oh yeah, listen to Chris Paul because he's won 4 championships. No, he hasn't.
You know how some
Frank
people
in Los Angeles.
Go ahead to Frank.
Go ahead. Frank in Los Angeles, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, what's happening with a player? Yeah, I'm agreeing with Rob, man. That dude should have came in and took some humble pie, man. It's basically like, when the girl was the baddest girl in high school, she was looking like Vanna White, but when you get to the class reunion now, she's looking like Reggie White. You got to take some humble pie.
Reggie White, rest in peace to the great. Why he catching strays?
One more thing. Rest in peace to Eldon Campbell. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah, man. Big Easy.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Rest in peace to Eldon Campbell. Helped up that Pistons squad win a championship.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
How about Mike in Texas? Thank you, Frank. Appreciate the support in L.A. Mike in Texas, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mike?
Hello, guys. How y'all doing? Love the show. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's sad that it came down to where it came down for Chris Paul. For him to, think he's better than everybody else and all that. But he's going to still go down as one of the top 10 guards in the league. And he's right behind Stockton in all-time assists, and he's up there having another thing. But I'm not trying to say that.
No one's trying to take down his career, his resume.
Right.
Okay, that's not the issue.
Okay, stats don't lie, though. So whatever you can say bad about him, he's going to fall in that top 10 all-time guard.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that. Mike, you work at a job. You want to go in and make suggestions to the boss and disrespect people in the staff. See how long you work at that job. It ain't going to happen.
I understand that, Rob. That's what I said. He crossed the line. He should never did that. He would have had a place on the bench if he had been more humble and showed some humility. But that GM, man.
No doubt. All right.
They go from one thing to he traded Shea, and they just had one problem after another.
All right, Mike.
That's
appreciate
it. That's going to be a 30 for 30 right there. Trading Shea, 5 first-round picks. Now he's up there MVP in championships. That'll definitely be one that'll be always remembered. That trade for sure.
Tony in Miami, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tony?
Oh, I just feel bad for Monty. I have some Ativan if she wants to calm down. I know it was a little emotional for her, but I also feel, because I'm a Lions fan, just like the Clippers, both of those organizations are full-blown. It's a curse. Curse is a real word. It's a real thing. I would say Paul going there and all that, it's kind of like spitting on an Applebee's burger and then trying to walk out of the tab. none of it is going to end well. Other than that, I really don't see. I don't see anything good coming out of any of it. And gambling reigns supreme. So I'll leave it at that.
No,
all right.
no
Thank
doubt.
you, Tony,
Appreciate
in
it.
Miami.
All right. And we spending
Yes.
Applebee's, beer, burgers, and whatnot. Now he's
goodness
gonna be
gracious.
paranoid next time I go to Applebee's. I'm gonna be paranoid now.
He didn't say he worked there. Lee in South Carolina, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Lee?
How you doing? How you doing? You had a good Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah. All
Yes, it
good,
was.
my man.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen, I want to say this. Chris Paul, he knows basketball. And I think he probably better trying to catch him as a coach. Because he know the game, he know how to play, but he can't play it no more like he used to. But
Right.
he could be a good coach. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, the thing, I appreciate the call. I'll say this, Rob. The idea that everybody who does know the game, very intelligent, high IQ, will be a good coach, I don't think it's not always about that. Because what happens is, can you handle guys learning at a slower rate than you? Can you handle guys making mistakes in the slow process of learning? Can you handle, guys just aren't getting it? Like, there's a frustration. Everybody's not built to be a coach. Maybe he will be, but I just know just because somebody is a great basketball mind doesn't mean they're a great coach. There's a temperament you got to have, an ability to watch things. Hey, we lost a game. We got to move forward because we got 82 of them. There's a lot that goes into it to being a coach than just simply, so-and-so was good at basketball or so-and-so knows the game. They can be a coach. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's always the case.
Cliff in Kentucky, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Cliff?
What's up, guys? Thanks for taking my call. I got to go with Monty on this a little bit because there are fans out there who's going to pay that money to see Chris Paul. I'm a big baseball fan. When I wanted to go see my favorite shortstop ever, I paid money. He wasn't as good as he used to be. But you ask for veteran leadership, Chris Paul's of a different era. He's not this era. And maybe that's the way he got brought into the game, and maybe it just rubbed people wrong.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's what I was talking earlier. I talked about evolving. Like if everywhere he's gone, he's just, got into it with some people, the intensity. I think all of us can evolve a bit. And maybe there was some of that you would think he would be able to do over the years, evolve a little bit, not changing the competitiveness, not changing one the desire to win, but maybe changing approach. And that's not the case. But here we were. It was like they say, it was all good a week ago. He signed, he's back, he's emotional, fans are excited. Now he's gone. So, all right, thank you for all the calls. Thank you, Monty, as well. Appreciate it. All right, on the way, one's got to go. We'll do it next. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Rob Parker, get used to it. Shedeur Sanders will be the Browns QB1 for the foreseeable future.
Did they name him the starter the rest of the year?
No, they did not.
Okay. All right. And I didn't see anything that was he's QB1 for sure, whatever, 150 yards. What they scored after the one touchdown, they got shut out basically the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm. That is second half,
right?
yes.
The second half they got nothing. It was just okay. It's not like I know people want to talk about him because of the other stuff and his name and all that, but nobody else with a quarterback who quarterbacked a loss and scored no points in the second half would get any kind of run or talk
I don't disagree with
conversation.
that.
What is there to talk about? I'm just being honest. I don't dislike. If you go back and watch First Take during the Tim Tebow era, that was when me and Skip were on a lot together. We argued about it all the time, and I kept saying I don't understand it. Tim Tebow had 89 yards passing, and then he sets up the game-winning field goal, and the whole story and the whole show was about Tim Tebow without any numbers or without anything. And so this is why I always equate him to Tim Tebow. We'll see. I still think Deshaun Watson will be the starting quarterback next year.
Why do you, I really don't get that.
I really do.
Well, let me rephrase that. I get the money into it. I hear that part.
And he's getting healthier. I really believe. I'm not even kidding you. I do believe. And then they'll keep one of these two back as the backup. I really do going forward.
Well,
I just think if Deshaun Watson's on your team, he's going to play.
I think Shedeur, if everything lines up as they say, he gets the next 5 weeks, whatever it is. His job is to absolutely say, no, you're wrong, Rob Parker, and that Deshaun Watson had his chance, got all the money, didn't play well. That's the thing, too. Deshaun Watson, it's not like, oh, man, it was the injuries and it was the, he didn't really get to go. He had his chance. He played terribly. So it's not like, oh, man, the suspension and that. He didn't play well and he gets owed a bunch of money. But we've seen teams do that. That's what the Broncos did with Russell Wilson, right? They lost a lot of money letting him go. So some teams can do that. And I think if you're Cleveland, you just cut ties. We made a bad business decision, let alone an X's and O's.
I don't see
we
it.
made a bad business decision.
It's going to hurt them if they do it.
But they're already hurting, Rob. Yeah, I mean, they might as well get rid of this so we can get the monkey off our back.
So if they lose the next 5 games and Shedeur is just okay, then what? Is that definitely we're going to go that way next year? I'm just saying, you don't win another game and it's just okay. Not spectacular, not terrible.
I get what you mean.
But just okay. I just think that you would open up the competition.
You have
and you would
pick.
say, he's healthy. Let me take a look and see if this guy can get back there. That's what, because we got to pay him regardless.
I guess the reason why I say they wouldn't do that is not just simply the math of the money and, hey, well, he's just around. I think you want that juju, if you will, away. All of that. We made a bad decision.
In the National Football League with all these guys,
we made a bad decision. It happens. I'm not. It's not just
filled with guys who have done
the felony.
Stuff.
It's that he didn't perform well. He had all, he's been injured.
Yeah, but he was playing even though he wasn't performing well because he was the starting quarterback. They gave him every chance. And the only
that's the point. He had every chance.
But the only reason he wasn't playing wasn't because they benched him and said you can't play. He got hurt. That's my point. But if to your point,
because they didn't have other options.
To your point, if they really wanted to do that, what do you mean? Joe Flacco took him to a playoff game.
I'm saying they brought in Joe Flacco as you're supposed to be a backup, not a guy.
But you said they don't have an option. Joe Flacco played pretty well for them. They went to the playoffs. They didn't
go into that season saying Joe Flacco was we got to have a backup.
An option. They did have an option.
Well, Rob, 32 teams have options in the backup. You got to have a backup in the NFL. What I'm saying is they didn't have their heir apparent or somebody there saying, ooh, they said, shoot. They were mad. We got to go to Joe Flacco. So much so, the man won him a playoff game, and they said you can get out of town.
I would buy it if they benched him while he was still healthy. Then I would agree with you that they don't think he has anything left because you would just bench the guy the way that they did in Atlanta, right? They decided that despite all the money they gave to Kirk Cousins, right? And their chance to make the playoffs, they benched him, and they didn't make the playoffs. Right. That's what I would have had to see for me to believe that they're totally done with somebody.
I hear you, but you know what we talk about all the time? Organizations are too prideful. Parker, Kelvin, Washington on a Worship Wednesday. Passionate conversation we just had there. All the news you guys heard, of course, about what's happening with Chris Paul and the Clippers. By the way, Chris Paul just posted something I just noticed a couple hours ago. It looks like a Zoom or a FaceTime, either one, of him, Blake, and DeAndre Jordan all like, it's a frozen picture of them like all laughing it up as to be like, what are y'all talking about or something. So that's interesting. It's going to be an interesting few weeks because he ain't got no job right now. So he's just going to be putting everything on social media. So we'll keep updated on that. If you missed any of today's show, always
make the point on why they did what they did. Like go out, at least give them some. They could have just said, dude, you know what, you cut, whatever. They flew all the way out there to try to do it with some sort of grace. You know what I mean? Seriously. Mm-hmm. Like he's disrespecting people behind the scenes reportedly and talking to people certain ways. Yeah. And they still at least flew out there to try to do it.
At 2:30 in the morning.
And that's a difficult thing to do.
Mad respect for not giving respect. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Fire me during business hours.
I don't buy the respect, like the whole, because if you're cutting me, you're cutting me. If you're flying to me, whatever. And especially considering it's supposed to be my last season. But it is interesting.
Please,
what the heck did he do?
Because you know what, Kelvin? You're such a phony. If they called him on the phone or text him, you'd be like, what kind of respect for that as a guy who played all these years in the NBA? There's a way of doing it, man. And they did it. And you got to make a decision.
This is clearly nothing about class. This is clearly a bad mess. Meaning if they called him, faxed him, flew down, the fact that Chris Paul is not retiring his final season, as it was just announced recently with the Clippers, there's no way around this being a ish show. Like it is exactly what it is, no matter how. So that part of it, no matter how it happens.
Let's go. I disagree. Yeah. There's a way of handling stuff. So when we let you go, we'll just send you a text, and that'll be cool with you, right? Is that how it goes?
No. The man literally just said he's retiring with them, and now he's not. There's no way around that. Like, what? How is that not going to be a big thing regardless? All right, so this one is dedicated to, we try to have a little fun here about some different things. And this one, I'm driving on my way, getting where I got to go. And it drove me crazy today that I kept trying to get by some folks, and they were doing 45, 50. No one's really on the road. And the left lane, which, of course, in most places is the fast lane. And I couldn't get around them. Some other people were feeling the same way I did, kind of got around them and then went in front of them, zoomed in front of them. So it got me annoyed, and it started to think about some little bit of pet peeves out here. Which ones got to go? Monty, Rob, Alex. So I'll start with the one I just said. People who drive too slow, but specifically in the fast lane. Like, you're not supposed to be in here doing 50. It's 60, 75, whatever the miles per hour is. You know what we're doing here. All right, you got that one. People who chew loudly. Or some people call it smacking. People who chew loudly are people who smack. What about the people who talk during a movie? You go on a movie, you're locked in, you're excited to see, and you get people talking a couple rows ahead of you. Or when you land, and the plane just landed, and they already stand up, and you got all people standing up over your head. We haven't even really finished taxiing yet, and you're already up, standing up, and standing in the way in the aisle. Those are your ones got to go. Pet peeve edition. Which one is gone? Driving slow in the fast lane. People who get up on the airplane and stand up before we Dagner even really just landed. People who talk during the movies, and people who chew loudly or smack. Rob, Alex, Monty. Which one's got to go?
It's got to be the deplaners. I've been on way too many planes, sitting usually in the 30s because I can't afford the first class seats. And still somehow,
I know about the 30 life.
The guy in row 37, as soon as the plane lands, got to stand up and walk to the front. Like, sit your ass down. You broke like the rest of us. Sit in the back. You do not get permission to deplane before the rest of us. They got to go.
They got to go. I feel that. It's like, dude, especially if you ain't got a connection, if like a 25-minute connection where you got to get on it, then okay, I'll be with you on that. Alex, Monty.
This one's easy.
What is it?
Oh, dude, slow in the fast lane every day. You want to know why?
Why?
I commute 24/7. I have to tell you something. There is nothing more robotic than people driving in the fast lane, going 60 miles per hour in the middle of the night. And then since I have to go around them and go back in front of them, they want to flash me with their brights to let me know that I'm infiltrating their commute home. So guess what I do to those people, Kelvin?
You pump
Slam
the
on my
brakes.
brakes faster than I could if a kid was crossing the road. You know what it does to them? Scares the living S out of them. So I guess what they're not going to do moving forward. Flash people with their brights when they're going 60 in the left lane.
I'm just going to jump in now because I'm with you, Alec. You took mine. It's the driving slow. Like, I'm a driver. I drive a lot, all the multiple jobs and kids and drive. And I like driving, too, in the sense of I like my music, my vibe, a good pocket. And I need you to can you go with the flow of traffic? I ain't saying you got to be doing 75, 85, 90. But go with the flow of the traffic or know that you're driving slow and get out the way. You're interrupting my mood, my groove. So I'm with you, Alex. People who drive slow, specifically in the fast lane, knowing they're doing it, I wonder why everybody's going around me. Because you're going 30. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
K-Dot, there's 4 or 5 lanes, too. It's not one lane.
Especially out here in L.A. Like, okay, certain states only have 2 lanes each way.
Well, that's different.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Monty?
All right, listen. Slow people in the fast lane, super freaking annoying. Everybody getting up when the plane first lands, super annoying, 100%. But if you smack when you eat, oh, Lord have mercy. That is
means
something.
It's good, Monty.
No,
just mean it's good.
You then do that when you're at home, private, enjoying it. But if you're like in public, oh no, it's like,
God.
You know what? It
Monty,
does.
you wouldn't want to be around 20-year-old Dub. We wouldn't have got along.
Maybe I wouldn't have cared 20 years ago, but right now, like when I see that, I'm just like, oh goodness, no, not in public. Don't do that. Do it in your own private home that you are enjoying your meal so much.
Rob, is it easy?
This is easy. One's got to go. 40-year-old point guards who are a pain in the ass to the organization. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the wrong topic. I'm sorry.
All right, wait, Rob. Let me ask you this: Chris Paul comes back. He's averaging realistically like 10 and 7, like 10.7 assists, playing 22 minutes. Would that have made a difference? Real question.
No, I think there's a way there's a way you deal with people, and you know this. When you're at the top of the heap, Bill Belichick treated reporters and people really badly, right? Because he was winning and he was at the top of his game. You don't now all of a sudden he's more feeble and people are attacking him. Do you know what I mean? Because
I agree.
He's not that guy anymore. And I'm just saying you got to know how to fit in. But to answer your question, I'll just go with, as somebody who's going to fly tonight, the crazy people who are always trying to get off the plane and they're 20 rows behind everybody. I just don't understand that either.
Can I update my list? I want to nominate a radio host who take a segment that's supposed to be fun and make it real serious there for a minute and a half. Turn it sideways. We're going straight and made a left turn. I didn't like that. That's my pet peeve.
Hey,
is that your pet?
I'm telling you what. Get my popcorn ready.
Whatever.
Get my popcorn ready when y'all have it on. I can't wait. All right, that's your one. Got to go edition pet peeve. We still got more in the show to get to as well. Stick with your boys. It's the Odd Couple.
Are you
Fox
sure?
Sports
I don't
Radio.
know. Somebody
Don't go
just going to
anywhere.
come to my door and
40-year-old
tell me
point
to get
guards.
lost.
Rob, sit down. We haven't landed.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the Odd Couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham! We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate your show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
I love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable.
He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape with the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win. Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special.
Yes.
Who wants some?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray is putting on a show in Indiana.
Jamal Murray has it left side of the midcourt circle, 7. He gets a high pick from Jokic, 5. He goes to his left hand, 3. 4-3. Got it again! Jamal Murray's on fire in the first half. That's 23 for Maul.
You just heard on the Altitude Radio Network. The Nuggets lead the Pacers 102-86 early in the fourth quarter, and Jamal Murray has 34 points. The Clippers are on top of the Hawks 64-48 halfway through the third quarter. Also, the Bucks are losing at home to the Pistons 46-33 halfway through the second quarter, and Giannis Antetokounmpo went down with a non-contact injury. The Bucks say that he is out for the rest of the game with a right calf strain. In men's college hoops, top 25 action coming down to the final 90 seconds. Number 22, Indiana losing to Minnesota 66-62. I'm Monty Bolaños.
I've been covering this league since 1987.
sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Hour number 3 here on the Odd Couple. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Worship Wednesday here on Fox Sports Radio and with the iHeartRadio app. You can stream us wherever you happen to be. That's right. Catch us and all the Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live all day, every day, and be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets. You remember the old days? That's right. So the iHeartRadio app will always pop up at the top of your screen. So that is something you definitely need to do here on the Odd Couple. A lot of stuff to get to. Law Murray, who covers the NBA for The Athletic, he'll jump on in about 28 minutes or so. Also last call. So still a lot to get to on this big day. A couple of big NBA stories. Giannis, obviously, ready to go. Chris Paul, gone. That and much more. But we go back to Giannis where we started this program, Kelvin.
Yeah, I mean, that's, some news. We thought that Chris Paul would be the big news, but then also Giannis decided to jump in and reports that his agent had a chance to actually, request that they want to have a meeting and figure out where the direction of his team going, Rob G.
Yeah, well, before we even get to that, Giannis actually played tonight for a few minutes, that is, because he left the game early with what they're calling a calf injury. If you watch the video, non-contact, he's going to the rim, passes the ball, comes around the other side, immediately goes down. Hopefully it's nothing more than a calf strain, but that could complicate his murky future with the Bucks, because you mentioned it. According to ESPN, he and his representatives will be talking to the Bucks front office here in a couple of weeks to discuss his future with the franchise. All signs pointing to, however, him finally, after months and years of speculation, demanding a trade out of town.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we would be here. Rob and I, we talked about it, Rob, over the offseason, just because the reports started to come out, what would happen, what do you do? And I thought this was going to happen because I thought you could see he's starting to put pressure on the team. He started to be vocal about things. And to something you always bring up, he kind of felt like he wasn't that guy. He kind of felt like, he was one of those guys who kind of just going to ride this thing out. But over the last 2-3 years, he's been louder. Right, he's been a little grumpier. He's been a little bit more, what are we doing? Where are we going? Which he's earned that right, too, by the way.
Last year they had a chance to do that, and he didn't. And he said he didn't ask for a trade.
But he's been vocal about them. He's been vocal about where are we going? What's the direction? I want to win multiple. This isn't good enough.
You mean when he asked for Damian Lillard? Like when he asked for and they traded away everything for Damian Lillard?
Yeah, so I'm saying he's become.
I don't understand this at all, to me. I just don't.
Understand
from the
what?
standpoint of, I don't understand, like they've made moves. They've done everything you could ask him to do.
I'm with you. So
it's Milwaukee. It's Milwaukee.
That's what I'm saying. He
left to go to Miami 5 years ago. He didn't want to go.
But I'm saying, to your point, one of the things that we've said, and I think most people would agree, is the Eastern Conference. It's been 20, 25 years, however long, of the Eastern Conference being the least between that and the lesser conference between the two. And to me, as good as Giannis is, 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, All NBA a million times. I mean, he's been that guy. He is first ballot Hall of Fame. When I look back, and we talked about this a bit before, Rob, I will say, especially post-championship, it has been strange for me and a bit disappointing to me that Giannis hasn't gotten back and just dominated the East. I'm not saying he had to win 3, 4, 5 rings. That's very difficult. And his team, he doesn't have the Warriors with KD and Steph. But the idea that he doesn't make it back, the idea that he's not regularly in the Eastern Conference Finals or regularly in have been to the finals multiple times has been a little underwhelming for how good, how great, how talented he is. I expected once
there are no other talented teams in the East. There are no injuries.
There's not really a bunch. As good as he is, there's not. That's literally why we call it the least. There's 1 or 2, but you can't tell me.
Miami's been to the finals a couple times. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. And nothing about those Miami
Indiana
teams.
made a run. It's not.
And not a single team you name made me look at Giannis where we think he is. he should not look at that as, well, I can't get past
So
them.
how come LeBron didn't go to the finals every year in the West when he showed up in LA?
In the East?
I mean, there were years they didn't even make the playoffs.
No,
I'm asking you.
Right, we're talking about the East. That's why I
Right,
brought
but
it
I'm
up,
just
because
talking
it's
about-
the
I'm just
easier
talking about-
conference.
I don't
Specifically
think
is
it's
my
that,
point, though, Rob,
I don't think it's
that
as
he
easy
hasn't
as you make
dominated
it out
the
to
East.
be. I don't think that Giannis should be in the finals every year. I think that's a pipe dream. I just don't believe that Giannis
how about
with
the
Chris
Eastern Conference
Middleton
Finals?
and the other players
And-
are there. But I still don't think he has to go to finals every year.
What I'm saying is, there's no way, Rob, that he is 30, 31 years old, putting up these numbers, still in his prime, and his team is, what are they, 9-13 or something. And the fact that he's that 3 first-round exits, he's gotten past the semis, that is underwhelming for this guy and how great he is. If I just blindly told you this guy's resume and that he's 30, 31 years old, still in his athletic
I would tell
prime,
you blindly that he won a championship in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That hadn't won a championship since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was Lou Alcindor. I mean,
Wait, so what do we stop? Do we just stop?
No, that
That's
doesn't mean
great.
you stop,
You
but
keep
it tells you
going.
something. But your idea, I just think you have an unrealistic idea. I'm going to be honest. That you think everybody, like, you have to go to the finals or the championship every year, or the idea that Giannis can't get beat, or he hasn't played. There was a time when they lost to Miami where he didn't play as well as he had played and missed free throws or whatever. He won a championship there. I don't know what you expect.
I'm blown away. I don't even know who you are
Giannis
right now.
to win 4 championships.
You're throwing crazy bail. You throwing some bail that I ain't never seen. You a bail bondsman right now. As great as he is, as dominant as he is, in a conference that does not have
I named you 20
these
players
teams.
who were great and dominant, and they didn't win. They didn't win once.
No, I said you can't even regularly
They
be
didn't
in the
win
Eastern
once.
Conference Finals. The fact that he's first-round exits, if this were anyone of that stature, where we're saying is they will be getting ridiculed. There will be concerns. We're not saying he's not a great player.
Are there any extenuating circumstances?
No, I gave you.
No, I'm asking you.
If I'm the Bucks, I'm answering. If I gave you, you know what? You're right, Giannis. We do need a tweak. Let's go get you Dame. You and Dame don't work out. I got Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton, and all these guys. That only worked the one time. Doesn't work. And you're so good. You're at least, I think we've all been led to believe that you also are capable of dragging a team. And there are certain people when you're at that level, that is the expectation. Luka Doncic's in the expectation that if Luka again doesn't drag some teams to some Western Conference Finals and some finals, we're going to be upset. Jokic, he's that good, that dominant, that if Jokic doesn't drag, I'm not saying these guys got to have 3, 4, 5 rings, but I'm saying the winning and getting deeper playoff runs, I think that's warranted. I think that is not without merit for how great they are. To ask Giannis to dominate the East for a decade, I think that's a fair point. Hey, Giannis, just not saying you got to win 5. Go to the finals a couple times. Win a couple Eastern Conference Finals. Get to him. That's all I'm saying. He's left meat on the bone, pause. He's left to be desired to me for how great he is in a conference again. That's Rob. We came into this season. It's wide open. Is it the Knicks? Is it the Pistons? Is it who can win it? And they're underachieving. When this should have been the year, he easily is dominating, balling out, and gets to the finals.
I think you're missing the elephant in the room when you're not being honest. They choked down that series. Doc Rivers again. They hired him. Giannis wanted the coach they had before him didn't even give him a chance. Wanted him out. Giannis was the one that signed off, I guess, on Doc Rivers. Right?
Yeah.
They've choked down series.
So wait, where did I get it wrong? That sounds like my point with Giannis.
No. Your point is my only point is I just think that your expectations for him are through the roof. That you really believe that he should be in the Eastern Conference Finals every year for 10 years. I don't see that. I think there are other players and other teams. I just don't. I don't see anybody doing that. But you think Giannis has been wasted? I don't think Giannis has been wasted in Milwaukee at all. The idea that Giannis won a championship in Milwaukee is mind-blowing to me. Is way 10 times more than I could have ever imagined Giannis winning a championship in Milwaukee, okay? So your expectations and mine are different. You say you expect him to dominate and win and go to the finals 4 or 5 times. I just don't see that.
No.
I'm
That's
shocked that he
not what
won
I
a
said.
title.
I'm saying a couple of final appearances, some Eastern Conference mixed in there, just where you're a very competitive team. That's all I'm saying. The idea that Giannis Antetokounmpo, MVP candidate, 2-time winner, 1, 2, or 3 every year in the voting, regularly is out in the first round, we would blast so many other people that talented, of that ilk, that awarded, that heralded. We would blast anyone else if they're regularly out in the first round or barely get into the semis. We would be like, what is going on there? And that's my point. I ain't saying you got to win 5 rings.
He has a little cachet that other people don't have, and that's that he won a championship. And there have been other extenuating circumstances. You didn't bring up Damian and Lillard and him didn't really go together. It didn't work out.
Figure it out.
So when you talk about it didn't work out. That's why
I said figure it out. I'm saying
let him
figure
go.
it out.
Yeah, but they tried, and it went out, and you and everybody else, when they went and got Damian Lillard, said, oh, God, that's going to be perfect. This is great. Look at this match. This is going to work out perfect. Those guys go.
So you blaming me for Giannis and Damian Lillard not working. I'm getting the blame. Boy, you lucky we ain't in the studio together.
But you're making it but I just think your expectations are unrealistic. That's
God
really what I have
forgive
an
me
issue
for
with.
expecting a dude of this ilk, this dominance, to get past the first round.
You expected Luka and LeBron to get to the Western Conference Finals, right, last year?
I didn't expect them. I thought they could.
And
I expect Luka.
So what happened
absolutely.
there?
I expect Luka in his tenure with the Lakers.
So if
to win
Luka
a
doesn't
ring.
get to the Western Conference Finals again this year coming up, then what? What is that for him? I'm just asking.
I'm saying
where
this is his run.
No,
Luka's
I'm asking
run,
you. What should he get to the Western Conference Finals the next 5 years?
It is possible for them. I like Houston. I already told you I like Houston and I like OKC, and then you got Denver. What I'm saying is if Luka is here 5-6 years in LA and he don't go to 2-3 Western Conference Finals or get a ring, that's underwhelming. Yes. If Joker don't get back to the finals as great as he is, that's underwhelming. If Joker doesn't regularly get to the Western Conference Finals 2-3 more times, yes, these guys are that elite. And I guarantee you they hold themselves to that expectation.
I just think your expectations are really high because we talk about how hard it is to win. So many things have to go your way. It's just not as easy as you think. And I don't care how talented that you are. You just talked about you guys bent over backwards for Chris Paul, and that's great. He's a top. What do you think? Have him as a top 4 or 5 guard, right?
Point guard, yeah.
And he's been on a ton of teams. He got to the finals one time. It's harder than you think, and I don't care how talented you are. It's harder than you think, and not most guys. Even LeBron, when you think about, he's been there 10 times. He's been playing the league 4 years? He got 4 championships? Wow. 4? He's got 4 championships.
Giannis is too
in 24
good
years.
to be getting out in the first round in a conference that's not even that hard. Period.
877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Do you feel like Giannis left some meat on the bone his playoff career in Milwaukee? Kelvin thinks so. I don't. I think he ate it all when they won a championship. We'll continue that conversation next with you. It is The Odd Couple. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay
America.
The fact that we came into the Bears saying, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, how is this marriage going to work? How is Caleb Williams going to improve? And what it ended up being is that Ben Johnson reminded us that what Ben Johnson did, despite all the sexy and cute plays in Detroit, Ben Johnson at his core is a running style offensive coordinator. And I think we got reminded of that this season because they're number 2 in rushing right now. The Bears are averaging about $150 a game. And then you look at what their defense is doing right now. They're first in takeaways. So this team has been built between defense, running the ball, which we all, again, Ben Johnson will draw up some crazy plays, but that's the core of who he is. And then you look at Caleb Williams, who's been struggling right now. He had 50% against the Eagles. They ran the ball almost 300 yards, and he is averaging his completion percentage is around 57% right now. And he's at QBR is 18, so they actually been winning despite what we all came in wondering how the pairing between Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson it would be. It hasn't been great. Ben Johnson has said we've won in spite of the passing game. I ain't the coach. That's what he said. And so that's, to me, why it's been remarkable. And to their credit, their ceiling can be high if Caleb Williams starts to get it going. That would be impressive because the defense has been spectacular. Turnovers, getting takeaways.
What's their record?
And the running game.
What's their record?
9-3.
Okay. It's just silly. Like you could go and handpick whatever you want. If you
What
watch,
do you mean handpick?
if you watch the game,
Oh, don't bring to watch the game. Are you watching them?
It's about making plays. Did you watch the game? The touchdown he threw to seal the game in Philadelphia? That wasn't a running play. He rolled out, he rolled left and threw a dime. Go watch the play. Right. He doesn't have to throw 3 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns and they lost. That's great.
Don't put him and Patrick Mahomes.
All I'm trying to say to you is that this whole idea that you're worried about completion percentage, it ain't got nothing to do. It's about wins and losses and making plays. That's what the NFL is. It's about making plays. Mm-hmm. It's about, did you tackle a guy or did he get by you? It's really a really simple game. Did you catch the ball or did you drop it? Did you throw the touchdown when it mattered? They've won. How many big games did they win at the end where he threw a touchdown?
I'm asking you a question.
I just don't understand the winning percentage. He's won 9-3. That's what I care about.
Has he performed well?
That's what I care about.
Has he performed well?
For a second-year quarterback with a new offensive coordinator, absolutely.
Okay, well, his own coach doesn't think that. And nobody's saying, again, that's why I said the ceiling is high for them if he can get it right. That's why I just said that. If he can actually get it right,
they won 4 games when trailing with 2 minutes to go in the game. He's done something right. That's my point, is that he has made plays. 4 games.
So you
with
just
2 minutes to go.
How about we not be down all the time?
That's just not how it goes. Come on, man. That's irrelevant. That's
and
silly.
Again, my whole point is they've been able to dominate with the defensive run.
It's about winning.
And Caleb Williams has room to improve.
Winning.
This is what we just talked about.
Nobody said he can't improve. I didn't say that.
Saying. That's literally what I'm saying.
That's not what you're saying.
They've been winning in spite of him. They've been able to produce in spite of him.
That's a backhanded compliment, man.
Well,
get out of here with that.
That's exactly what it is.
That's terrible.
He hasn't played well.
That's terrible.
He has made some plays, but he hasn't been
played
great.
well. They won 4 games in the final 2 minutes.
Right.
And you're acting like he hasn't done anything.
No, that's not what I said. I said he has not played great.
How can you do
that
to somebody? What
do you mean I can do it? Because he's a professional athlete. That's literally what we do.
That's not it. It's because he's being. Come on. I'm not buying it.
Can you at least have some consistency? Because, matter of fact, or maybe it's the opposite. You do have consistency. Because Matthew Stafford has been playing out of his mind, and he ain't this and he ain't that. But then Caleb Williams, who is 50-something% passing, QBR is lower than half the league, but he's out here playing well. Boy, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with you. Actually, you're right. I can. It won't make sense.
He's in his second year. They started out 0-2. They gave up 50 points to the Lions, and now they're 9-3, one of the best records in the league. And you sit here, and your comment and your conversation is about how bad Caleb Williams is. Come on, man.
I didn't say how bad he is. I said he's got a root there winning in spite of him.
That's awful.
It is the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Worship Wednesday. Thank you for rocking with your boys. Be sure to check out the brand new YouTube channel. If you haven't already, it's your chance to do so. Go to Odd Couple FSR on YouTube, right? You search that, you find the page. You like it, you can share it, that's right, do it! You can share it, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Rob G, we got any comments you want to get to before we get to some calls?
I will get to them at the last call segment. We got to be flying in hot and heavy.
All right, the calls flying in hot and heavy. Let's get to them. Rob and I talking about, I essentially think Giannis Antetokounmpo, if it's all said and done, Milwaukee, I wanted some deeper playoff runs. I wanted some more, another finals appearance. Rob is okay with where his career has been with Milwaukee. Where are you at? 877-99 on Fox. Who we got?
All right, let's go. Trent in Wichita. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Trent?
Still listening to y'all outside of the bars, man. I'm not in jail still, so I'm good, man.
Okay. All right, that's a good thing, Trent. Good job.
But here you go, Kelvin. The deal is, man, is only one dude can win it every year. You know what I'm saying? And there's only one championship. So whenever there's 4 or 5 all-time greats playing, only one of them's going to get it. That's why Barkley don't got a ring. And all, you know what I'm saying? It's just the winning the ring is very hard to do, and especially in Milwaukee, him getting one there, I give him mad props for doing that, man. I mean, there's a reason why people don't win at places, and they don't have the front office, they don't have the capabilities to really even do it, and he willed them to that. And so, I mean, I don't see much more he could have done, man. Love y'all.
I'm with you. Thank you, Trent.
I absolutely believe I could have got some deeper playoff run. You think, Rob, he was his best version in them playoffs? Multiple playoffs runs?
No.
He was
I just
not
think
his
that
best version.
I'm not going to sit there and think that he shouldn't have won. The idea that he won that championship is incredible to me. It just is. I give him credit.
Rob,
he didn't go
when
team
you won
up
your
with
first
anybody
Hall of Fame
else.
nomination, you didn't stop there. You got more Hall of Fame nominations.
Okay,
See?
here we go.
You know?
Here we go.
See, don't
Let's
do
make
that.
it about me. There we go. Kevin
Who
in
next?
Culver City. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Kevin?
God is good.
All the time.
Where you been, Kevin?
Oh, I was with Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, where you been? Ducking and hiding?
Was with Sabrina Carpenter. We had the short and sweet tour at Crypto. I was looking for you, Kelvin. Did you bring your daughters? We had six solo shows.
No, hey, Sabrina Carpenter, Kevin. She a little more diminuendo. She a little too grown for my daughters right now.
I know. Well,
if
she's
you
the
catch her
reason why
stuff,
I got that drop. She's the reason why I got that drop. That please drop. But that Mike Tyson. That's for her song.
yeah.
Yeah.
She a little too grown for me with my little daughters right now.
Oh yeah, she's doing her thing. Here's the thing. Giannis, because of the accent, he gets away with doing what LeBron did. LeBron won a championship. He traded Kuzma, everybody, for Westbrook. Giannis wins a championship. He trades Drew Holiday. He gets Chris Middleton out of there. All the guys who won in the championship with that defense, he gave that up for Lillard with his offense. These players have got to stay out of the front office and let the GMs GM, just like Kawhi, decided, hey, I don't want Shai. I don't want a superstar. Bring me Paul George and 6 first-round draft picks later. The Clippers are still trading picks to the Thunder. And that turned into Casey Wallace and Jalen Williams. And it might turn into Big Cameron Boozer. So this is what players do. It's what Giannis does. It's a player empowerment. And Giannis definitely cost himself maybe another championship because we saw Drew went to Boston and won another championship with Tatum. So you can't just go shipping players out thinking you're Jerry West or you're Bob Myers or you're Sam Presti. Just play basketball and win your championships. Giannis definitely messed up his window a little bit. I definitely think so.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Appreciate the call. How about
appreciate it, brother.
Thomas in Orlando. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Thomas?
Hey, what's up, Rob? What's up, Kevin? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, brother.
Doing well. Thank you, sir. Hey, so, Rob, what you're talking about is complacency. You want a champion to be complacent and to not chase any more championships?
That's not what I said. I said his stint in Milwaukee is far more than what I expected. I did not expect Milwaukee to win a championship. I gave that guy credit. After they lost to Miami a few years back, everybody wanted him to go join the Heat. Do you remember that, Thomas?
I do. Yes.
Everybody. Oh, Yo, you're dumb. I can't believe you re-signed there. You're dumb. You'll never win. Go back and read the stories, read the columns, and read the social media posts about Giannis. He said, I don't want to work out with LeBron. I don't want to be buddies with anybody. I'm going to stay in Milwaukee. I'm going to do my thing. And they won a championship. And they hadn't won a championship since Lou Alcindor back in those days. All I'm saying is, did I expect him to win multiple championships in Milwaukee? No, I did not. And he won a championship. That's all I'm saying. It's not about being complacent. I can't look at his stint in Milwaukee and say it was a disappointment in any way. I can't.
I got one more thing.
Thomas. Thomas, you think that
his
stint in Milwaukee was disappointing?
No, not at all. He beat my Hawks, which was great. The Hawks were on a great run that year, too. That was a great postseason, personally, for me, with the Hawks. But, I can't fault him. But one more thing. You chase two things when you become a professional athlete. You chase either money or championships. And I think I respect more an athlete that chases championships over money.
All right. Well, Giannis, I don't think anybody thinks Giannis isn't about championships. My whole point, Rob, is just simply I thought he would dominate more when it mattered in playoffs. I thought he would get to Eastern Conference Finals. He would get to finals. That's where I say that it left more to be desired. All right. On the way, we got getting ready to join us is our man, Law. What's the game? I lost my little thing right here. We're going to talk some Law Murray. Going to talk some Clippers with him. Obviously, big story, CP3. Right now, got to check in with Monty Bolaños. I don't know how Monty's doing.
What did I do to you? Why are you sounding like that? What did I?
Your Clippers.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Just because I was concerned about you and your Clippers.
Yeah, no, it's very sad. I'm very sad about it. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. No. Well, at least the Clippers are up right now. I mean, at least there's that. But no, it's sad being a Clippers fan right now. 102-77 is the score in Atlanta. Early in the fourth quarter, the Spurs and the Magic went literally down to the wire. De'Aaron Fox had the ball with about 7 seconds to go, drove in, and Orlando's Jonathan Isaac fouled him, leaving just 1.4 seconds on the clock. He made both shots, and Orlando couldn't do anything with the 1.4. So the Spurs officially beat the Magic in Orlando 114-112. Jamal Murray is putting on a show in Indiana. He's got 52 points, and the Nuggets are up on the Pacers 133-118 with less than 2 minutes to go there. It's a close one in Houston between the Kings and the Rockets. Rockets are up 67-63 late in the third quarter. Early in the third quarter in Milwaukee, where the Pistons lead the Bucks 53-51. Don't forget that Giannis Antetokounmpo did play early in the first quarter, suffered a non-contact injury, was ruled out for the rest of the game with a right calf strain. The Heat are losing to the Mavericks in Dallas 62-53, and the Trailblazers defeated the Cavaliers in Cleveland 122-110. And yes, everybody played. Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley. Yes, the Cleveland players were there. When it comes to men's college hoops, Minnesota handed number 22 Indiana their first loss of the season, coming out on top 73-64. It was their first win against Indiana since 2019. Right now, coming down to the final minute, and number 6 Louisville is losing to number 25 Arkansas 87-78. Back to you guys.
All right, Monty, thank you so much.
Jess.
It's the Occupy. Have a great night.
You too.
Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington with you on a Worship Wednesday, and we are joined now by our man Law Murray, covers the NBA for The Athletic. You can follow him at Law Murray, the NU on X. Law, man, just a normal day around the league, huh?
Yeah, man, that's how we do. Everyone want to sleep, and then you get woken up, literally.
They woke up.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Chris Paul and said, "Hey, pack your bags. You got a ticket out of here." Your thoughts on Chris Paul? And obviously, he wasn't playing that much. It's not about stats. The team isn't playing well. They're not using him as a scapegoat. There's some other issues, and I think that Chris Paul maybe reacted the way he used to react when he was a star in the league, and it's just not the same. It doesn't feel the same when you're not. What did you get from this from the people you've talked to?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, a lot of it is because of stats. If Chris was playing better or if he was just playing at the level that he was last year when he was an 82-game starter in San Antonio. Maybe this is a little bit more palatable when you hear Chris coming at you with some truth. And it sounds like Chris didn't discriminate, I'd be surprised if he did. Chris Paul has been in the NBA for 21 years, right? So, he has a hard-on reputation of squeezing every possession and for squeezing every player and every coach that he's been with. You got to have some thick skin to take it, and it helps when you win. Chris usually shows up and teams win a little more than they did before he got there. This Clippers team, obviously, is in a terrible place in that department. So I think with all of those things considered, yeah, they're very careful not to put it all on Chris. But it's interesting that this was the first domino and that it happened when it did and how it did.
Answer me this. So we know there's reports that he and Ty Lue hadn't been talking in weeks, that he wanted to have a meeting with Ty Lue about some things, and Ty Lue just been ignoring him. Where is this organization from top down, from Steve Ballmer to Lawrence Frank to Ty Lue? Are they locking step and key? Are they all on the same page? Are they on all maybe in different places? Where are they right now?
I would say that this season is probably the most dysfunctional since the 2022-23 season when Kawhi Leonard came back from his ACL tear. And there's a lot more discord as far as the coaching staff and the front office not being on the same page then. Now, mind you, that team still found a way to climb over 500, avoid the play-in tournament, get themselves a 7-game series that they would be eliminated because their stars weren't available. Fast forward to now. The record is so much worse, and the issues have revealed themselves so much earlier, but the brain trust is that much more locked in. Now, we can probably discuss why that is, but the main thing you have to look at is the contracts. I mean, T. Lue is signed until 2029. Steve Ballmer has never wavered on his front office, and there is not a single player on the team that is signed as long as Tyronn Lue is signed. So if there's going to be shakeups, changes, it's going to involve personnel and the players before it involves changing a head coach or changing GM. And I think the fact is those guys learned from, the discord and disconnect from 3 years ago being on the same page. They have failed, but they have failed together. They brought guys in that everyone was on the same page about how they were going to bring those guys in. A lot of things didn't work. A lot of those things out of their control. You can anticipate Bradley Beal missing 20 to 25 games and maybe not dropping 20 a game. You don't anticipate Bradley Beal not playing a single fourth quarter your entire season. That's just not how these decisions get made, these projections get made. It's stuff like that. So I think the people who want heads to roll, they're not going to get it. And the people who want to see accountability, it's going to come from the stars first. And the stars are going to get a couple of weeks to a month to figure it out on their own before more drastic measures are taken.
Where do you have a feel for where Giannis could wind up if this whole thing shakes out? He wants to go. The Bucks say, "Okay, we'll we got to move on. You don't want to be here. We don't want you here." What do you expect? Is he going to wind up in New York? Is he going to wind up somewhere out west? Any feel for that?
I just hope Giannis is healthy. The injury that Giannis suffered tonight is very concerning. Yeah. He suffered a non-contact calf injury, one of those injuries where he jumps, he comes down, maybe comes down funny, tries to take some steps, collapses, needs a timeout to get off the floor. I'm not a good lip reader, but others are. We're going to find out in the next 24 hours if Giannis is even going to be able to play in the short term or the long term for this season. Assuming that he is, Giannis is not an easy basketball player to build around. He's incredibly talented. He's incredibly powerful and forceful with how he plays. But Giannis has had some durability issues tonight, notwithstanding. He has been a player who has missed playoff games. He's been a guy who has struggled to reach 70 games. And the way he plays, there's been one head coach in this entire league who has won a playoff series with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and that's Mike Budenholzer. And you see where Mike is right now, or where he's not. So it's going to be interesting to me to see what team in the middle of the season, especially, is going to give up assets and still have a team that is good enough with Giannis to compete for something beyond winning a playoff series. That is something that is very interesting to me. New York has been the team mentioned the loudest, but New York isn't so good that they can give up real pieces, integrate Giannis, and say that they are objectively better.
You know, Law Murray, our guest here. Law, I want to ask you about another team that we talk about, the Clippers. Let's go to the other team here, the Lakers, and keep Giannis. Is there some way Austin Reeves is having a very, very good season for him, but there's still people who say, hey, is Austin Reeves the kind of guy? If I'm Milwaukee, say, give me Reeves, give me, another player and maybe a future pick or something. Where is Austin Reeves when it comes to how he's viewed with the Lakers? Is he a must-keep or is he a great piece to dangle?
He's probably a must-keep, and I'll tell you why. LeBron James is in the final year of his contract. Luka Doncic is signed long-term. Austin Reeves is due a raise. And Austin Reeves is going to be an all-star this year. He might challenge for All-NBA depending on how things shake out. Again, the games played factor is a big one. That guy plays games. He's very durable compared to a lot of guys that are in consideration. Monday night, the Lakers lost, but you notice who went down with a groin injury. It's Devin Booker, a player who doesn't exactly play Austin's position, but it's in the same realm where if you're going to be thinking of voting, reasonably you'd say, oh, Devin Booker, he's better than Austin Reeves, but you're going to look at the production, you're going to look at the record, and you're going to look at the games played, and we're going to see, how that shakes out, right? So I think the Lakers know that it's important to have a very good guy next to Luka Doncic who can cook. Dallas, they had, Jalen Brunson, let him go foolishly. Got a life raft and getting Kyrie Irving, but that didn't work right away. And then they got Kyrie Irving and Luka on the same page, and even then, the team wasn't really good until they fortified the roster around those guys. Then they got hot enough to make the NBA Finals. It's important to have someone next to Luka who can command a double team, create for himself and others, and also just be another guy just as insurance. The Lakers probably have two really special guys. I mean, Austin Reeves is the highest scoring number 2 option in the NBA right now. People don't look at him in terms of that. That's how you should refer to him as. Luka is leading the league in scoring. Austin is leading all number 2 guys in scoring. You pay that guy, and you figure it out from there.
Is that because of the postseason? With Austin Reeves, he was so disappointing in the postseason. I don't know if he was fully healthy, but there were a lot of people after that. Going in, all I heard, I don't know where you were. Did you have the Lakers going to the Western Conference Finals? Because there were a lot of NBA experts who were all over the Lakers between Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves, and then they get knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, they won one playoff game, and it was very disappointing. I mean, reality is they got out-coached. Like, Chris Finch did an excellent job of putting his team in position to succeed, while the Lakers were, they had a game where they didn't make a single substitution after halftime, which is, a risk that you take, and when it doesn't work out, you have to own it. And the accountability to own that decision wasn't quite there. Guys were they disrespected Rudy Gobert, and by the end of that series, Rudy Gobert destroyed them, right? Julius Randle, people weren't expecting Julius Randle to be effective in a playoff setting because he was never that player in New York. Well, playing next to Anthony Edwards must have did something. Chris Finch put Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert and McDaniels in position to succeed. And that's really what it came down to. Those last 3 games of that series, games 3, 4, and 5, clutch time games, something where Minnesota struggled all season. Something more this year, the Lakers haven't lost a single game in clutch time. They were the only team in the league that could say that. But the Timberwolves won all those games. It's the margins, right? And so I think when it comes down to Austin Reeves, I don't think he was 100% in the playoffs. But he's a good player who continues to get better and who is working with this little thing called confidence. If you have confidence in yourself, if you have it from your teammates, if you have it from your coach, and you're not one of those Lakers who get their address doxed, then it might show up on the court more frequently. You might be consistently playing at your level or above your level. And I think that's what Austin has. Austin's got a lot of love from the people that share a locker room with him, share a practice floor with him, share playing with him. And I think those things allow him to be really, really good. I bet you if you traded Austin Reeves to Dallas right now, he wouldn't play as well. Because it's like, why are you trading me here? Who am I playing with? Is this coach feeling me like I need to be put in the position to succeed in my previous situation? Those little things matter in pro sports, and especially basketball, a sport where you blink and your 10-point lead is gone. And that's just where I feel, when you get embarrassed in the playoffs, you have two choices. You can respond or you can succumb.
Well, we'll have to. That obviously, if you're at Austin Reeves, you definitely are making a name for yourself this season, man. Law, appreciate you as always, brother. Happy holidays to you.
Hey,
all right, thank you. Appreciate it.
No doubt. Law Murray covering the NBA for the Athletic. Give him a follow. Law Murray, the NU. Last call, 877-99 on Fox. Hit us up. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
But, Rob G., one thing I didn't love last night was LeBron James staying in the blowout.
Well, the reason why he was on the bench when Bronny got posted up and Dillon Brooks missed that shot is because right before that, like 30 seconds before that, LeBron James hit a deep three-pointer to cut the lead from 25 to 22.
Close.
In the last 6 minutes of the game, and promptly subbed himself out. The reason being is because he hit that 10-point mark for the 1,297th straight time in the NBA. And Rob Parker texted me as soon as he did that. We got a new stat pad for him.
That's right.
And his name is LeBron James.
Because that's where we are. Kelvin, I know you're going to come up with some LeBron has earned the right to do whatever he wants story or excuse. Just embarrassing. LeBron, it's not going to change people's opinion that you're better than Michael Jordan because you have this meaningless streak. I'm sorry. You had a horrible shooting night. Mm-hmm. It was a bad night at the office. It's okay. Don't do this, make a mockery and a blowout. Imagine if he slipped on a wet spot and hurt himself or twisted something. Mm-hmm. People would say, what is he doing in the game in a blowout?
I'll tell you what I'm doing in this game. I'm going to get 10 points. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
No, go ahead. I mean, no, to me, it makes it just it's ridiculous.
This is a two-parter for me. One, and y'all know how I am about LeBron. I wish he had sometimes the people in his group would tell him in the group chat, that ain't it. The passive-aggressive, the random tweets in the middle of the night, you lost by 30. I thought I was the watch king. Bruh, put the phone down. This is another one. This is the stupidest stat that nobody remembers. This is not a home run stat. This ain't a season with a triple-double. Nobody remembers. I don't know. Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. I don't know how many games Michael Jordan had with 10 points. All I know is Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. I know he was an MVP and a defensive MVP. I know he had 6 in all the finals. I know he's been, multiple All-Stars and all the NBA. I don't know how many games Kobe Bryant, God bless the dead, had a 10 and Kareem had 10.
Nobody does it. Nobody cares.
This is the stupidest stat
Who
ever.
Came up with this?
So this one to me bothers me. Now, do I have a problem if you're staying in to get that triple-double? Steph Curry, I'm making it up to hit a 3 to win the all-time three-point. I have no problem with that. When you're going for stats that are impressive, stats are like, wow, all-time stats. Michael Strahan trying to get the sack and Brett Favre, saw him coming and kind of those are legendary stats. We all know the numbers. We all know those. 10-point game is, come on, Brian. 10, not 20. 20 is, that's impressive. 20, okay, a couple, however many games it's been with 20 points. 10 is that. So this, to me, is a two-parter for me. This individual stat is ridiculous.
If it happened in a natural flow, but you're in a blowout.
You're in a blowout in year 20. At the end of the game, and you're 23. It
doesn't make sense. Like the coach has to say, LeBron, what are you doing out there?
If he was chasing the all-time scoring, he's earned that. Steph Curry chasing some three-point in a blowout. I don't care. You've earned that. Tim Duncan, if you get this block in a meaningless, you going for a block, to remember when David Robinson scored 72, 73 points in a game because they were like, he's got a chance to win the scoring title? I'm cool with that. It's the last game of the season. Your team kept feeding you. He scored like 72, 73, whatever it was.
You know what? You remember who was it, Rob G, the woman at UConn who was in a full body cast? She need to score 2 more points. She was hurt.
Who was? I remember that too.
And they put her out there. She was She couldn't even run the court to score. She had to score 2 more points. She was injured. I swear, if I was the coach, I would have had all 5 of my players stand around her and say, I don't care what anybody else is doing. She is not going to get a basket. Because she was injured.
Yeah, no.
And she couldn't play.
No, you listen. We ain't going to let you have that. No, you ain't getting that record on us.
You know what I mean?
We're going full boxing 1.
Is that seriously?
Full body casket boxing, cast boxing 1 on this right now.
I remember that. I was like, oh, that's just
but my point seriously is I don't mind when there's a great set. Let's say Russell Westbrook needed another rebound to get a triple-double that would have him 80 triple-doubles, some crazy. I'd be like, that's dope. Triple-doubles, we value that. We value three-point records. We value assist records. We value steals and block records. That I have no problem with. These guys who have played that long, they've earned that to get these all-time great records. Not a single human being on earth has ever referenced the 10-point-in-a-row record. Go ahead. Fox Sports Radio, Odd Couple. Rob and Kelvin, one more time for your boys on this Worship Wednesday. Shout out to Law Murray. Just joined us moments ago. Check out the podcast if you missed any of it. Talk some good hoop stories and headlines with him. It's time now for Last Call.
This is the Last Call.
Last Call. Last call.
Me?
Who we got, Rob?
There you go. I need a tissue for sure. All right. Now, is that Rob G? Slimore? Rob G? Sylmar, I'm sorry. Okay. So it's Ryan from Sylmar, California.
There we go.
Are you sure it's not Sauger?
The last call. Here on the Odd Couple.
So out of line.
Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, guys. Long time, first time. I just want to bring up the Chris Paul thing. I remember when they got him. Vinny Delnager was the coach. You remember that?
Well, can I say this first before you jump in? Thank you for being a longtime listener. We appreciate you.
For sure. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, and they had a couple. I think they beat them the first year 12-13. I'm not sure. 2016, no one brings this up. They were up 3-1 against Houston Rockets.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin McHale was the coach of the Rockets. Remember that? And they blew that series.
Yeah.
17, they lost to Utah. 18, they lost to Portland. And then 19, he went to Houston Rockets, and they had Game 7.
They were up on the Warriors.
On Warriors, exactly. And they had the worst shooting game of all time on their home floor. And I appreciate Monty's, her passion, but he did not take them farther. 2021 was the farthest they went.
Thank you. I'm glad you brought up all of these because I remember all of these moments as well.
He's gone. Oh, appreciate the call.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a lot of bad juju in the postseason as well.
Oh, without a doubt. That one where they were up against the Rockets with the Clippers, that was terrible. I mean, you got to win that series and advance. And that's been something that you mentioned, the juju around him. Like, people are like, man, Chris Paul is not a winner because the time he had a couple of times to advance, with Houston and his hamstring, he's out, so he ends up not against the Warriors. He doesn't play, and everybody's always like, oh, man, if Chris Paul was healthy, no hamstring issues, they would have won. He just always had some type of thing would go wrong for them not to advance. But I tell you what, one of the greatest runs of his career was with the Thunder. We all thought he was going there, and it was a wrap. It was a bunch of young guns. We thought, man, he's going, as you call it, Siberia. We thought he was going there, and all of a sudden that OKC team was really good. So he definitely had a knack, for making teams better than that you thought they would be or better than they were before he got there. But that same guy, that same intensity, often can rub people the wrong way, often can wear on people, and we've seen that. That's why I said he's had it. If you split his career almost in like 10 years, the first 10 years, he's the darling of the league, babyface assassin. Everybody loves him. He's got the great commercials. You're like, you knew it was coming. Like, oh, man, a championship should be coming. The last 10 has been, man, he's a dirty player. He's not a winner. Teammates don't like him. So it's been an interesting, arc, if you will, story arc of Chris Paul over the last, 20 years.
Yeah, no one wants to take away. No one's trying to ruin his resume or act like he's not a great player. It's just that there's a way you got to be real careful at the end of your career on how you go out and how you treat people. I'm telling you, what they talk about it, the way you treat people on the way up, right? You want to treat people the right way. I agree with that. Because on the way down, you know what I mean? And people, it happens a lot to people.
Hey, you ain't lying. And you know what? In this business we're in, too, it's a small business. You know that. Safe travels, my dog. Safe travels, man. We'll do it again. It's the Odd Couple. We out.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon is coming up next.
I never miss your radio show. I never hear it, so I never miss it.
Did you hear that?